jìnnà sí wọn bí sánmọ̀ sílẹ̀ o ara ló ń ta wọ́n ṣe mọ́ o náà bá sunkún sójú bẹ̀rẹ̀ má ti fi gbé sọ kó fẹ́ yẹ ẹyẹ kó lọ ìgbé sọnù sígbó wọ́n dúró títí ọwọ́ wọn ò tó ìṣó máa ṣe ta ní kókó ṣòkòtò tí olókùn ó dá kìtìyàn ó dórí àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ o. Ṣí mi lọ́nà o, mo tẹríba fàdàgbà o, àgbà ẹ foríjì ni, ojoojúmọ́ ni mo ń pọ́n wọn lé, mo ń ṣèyá sí àwọn àgbà o, mi ò fojú tí rìn wọn láyé, ọmọdé ẹ má fàgbà ṣe yẹ̀yẹ́, torí oníkọ́ tó yọ lání, ọmọdé ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o, màmá ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o. Máa ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o. Ọmọdé ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà. Ọmọdé ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o. Ọmọdé ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà. Bọ́lájú kòkòrò bá gbẹ́ran nígbó tó bá fúnra ẹ̀pín ló dára jù o. Kọ̀wé mi á jẹ́ dàgbà o. Èyí mo rí màrò ẹ̀fọ́ gbogbo náà ní ilé ayé. Sùúrù ní ṣẹ́gun ohun gbogbo. Ẹ má ṣèké mo ní ẹ má dalẹ̀. Forí orí kìlọ̀ ló jẹ́ ẹ̀yin forí wọ́rí yóò sábà mọ́ àwa ò ní sábà mọ́ láyé o. nílé ayé o. àwa ò ní sábà mọ́ láyé. àwa ò ní sábà mọ́ láyé. àwa ò ní sábà mọ́ láyé. dẹ́bìtọ̀ rẹ̀ àtàrà ilé o. àwa ò ní sábà mọ́ láyé. àwa ò ní sábà mọ́ láyé. àwa ò ní sábà. Ṣòkòtò wọn múra wọn sáré kẹrù sọkọ o àyànmọ́ ògbóògùn wo wọn ò béèrè lọ́wọ́ orí orí lọmọ mẹ́wàá lọ ìyàwó ohun tí ẹ wá lọ sí Ṣòkòtò ohun rẹ lápò Ṣòkòtò mo sọ àkúnlẹ̀yàn ọmọ ẹ̀dá láyé kò lè yí padà mo ń tẹnu mọ́ o olórí làlá bàrò orí làlá bàrò olórí mi níjà o. olórí lálàbàrò. lálàbàrò. olórí lálàbàrò. oríjà jogun ìkànnì wọn rí má fi wá fáyé mu nílé ayé wa o. olúwa àgbẹ̀ wa níjà o. àmì nílé ayé wa. ó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ pé ọ̀tá kọ́ ni wá. ó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ pé ọ̀tá kọ́ lẹ́yìn. ṣọ́wa nínú ọ̀pá wọn kìnìún. ejò olóró akéèké ṣọ́wa nínú ìdàgìrì ayé dáàbò ẹ̀bùn wá fi ṣọ́rẹ́ ṣọ́wa o mo sádìyọ bàbá lókè o mo sádìyọ bàbá lókè o mo sádìyọ bàbá lókè mo máa sádìyọ bàbá lókè o mo sádìyọ bàbá lókè o olúwa gbé wa níjà o mo sádìyọ bàbá lókè o kó má fi wá sílẹ̀ o. Olúwa má fi wá sílẹ̀ o. Mo sádìyọ bàbá lókè o. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè rajọ ìbànújẹ́ ti bá àwọn ọ̀tá nílé. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè rajọ ìbànújẹ́ ti bá àwọn ọ̀tá nílé. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè rajọ ìbànújẹ́ ti bá àwọn ọ̀tá nílé. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè rajọ ìbànújẹ́ ti bá àwọn ọ̀tá nílé. Bí wọ́n ti ro ti wá sí nínú ilé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kó jẹ́ tiwọn lọ ijọ́ gbogbo. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rera jọ ìbànújẹ́ ti bá àwọn ọ̀tá nílé. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè.
Why am I still hearing that music? All right. So, all right. Good day to you. Good to be in your company and all that. Good day to you. Good to be in your company. I hope you're hearing me okay. apologies we didn't come out yesterday, but then it's becoming now the new norm. We come really when the spirit moves. The spirit moves today, so we're out today. Delighted to be in your company. Thank you for being here. And how are you? So good day to you all that. The protocol remains the same. Click on the like button. As I'm inviting you to do so, do so. We don't see sufficient enough of you doing it. So if you are engaging with the platform right now, you should really click on the like button. It helps with the YouTube algorithm and it doesn't cost you anything. So there's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't be doing it. So if there's no reason why you should not be doing it, then there's every reason why you should be doing it. So if you have no reasons not to click on like and subscribe, then you have every reason to click on like and subscribe, because those reasons help the platform and the other reason takes nothing away from you. So if you're listening to me now, every single person listening to me now should have clicked on the like button and subscribed. You should have done that, because that's the least help you can do for the platform. So make sure you have liked and subscribed. Very, very important. And then if you want to come and join me on the screen, come in via the hyperlink that says StreamYard. Oh yeah, there it is right there. I'm hearing myself back, so let me address that. Where am I? All right, where am I hearing myself back? Where are you? All right, let me just all right, let me make sure I'm not hearing myself. But as much as I love the sound of my own voice, I don't need it echoing back to me whilst I'm also speaking the words as well. So yes, where was I? Yeah, so like and subscribe is very, very important. You know, if I show you the data, most people that interact with most platforms don't subscribe, but usually 60 something percent of the people that interact with most platforms are subscribed. But unusually, curiously, only about 33 to 34% of the people that interact with this platform are actually surprised. So when I was looking through the data, it surprised me somewhat. It's just out of skew with what the norm is, and it shouldn't be, unless people are watching us with etanios. Do you know what etanios is? It's a Yoruba word, etano. Unless people are watching us with etano, so don't watch us with etano. Watch us with love and generosity. My voice is gone thick all of a sudden. You know what? My boy has a flu, and I've been cuddling him all through yesterday, and so I think hopefully it's not passed something on to me. So all that, like and subscribe. I request it in so many ways, but really, in all of the seriousness, you should be doing that. You should click on the like button and then you should subscribe. That's the least you can do. If you want to come and join me on the screen, come in via the hyperlink that says StreamYard. First line item, now the third line item in the comment section. So if you want to come and join me on the screen, come in via the hyperlink that says StreamYard. Share the links to the stream just as widely as you can. Copy the URL to the stream and put it in your WhatsApp groups, your Facebook groups, wherever it is that you mooch around on social media, put it there. So share the links just as widely as you can. That, of course, as well helps the platform. Let your friends and frenemies come hear this peculiar sounding guy that speaks English like no other person, not like a human being. So all that, and then of course say hello to me in the comment section as well. You know how I cannot survive without the hello. So say hello to me in the comment section as well. So there's just so many things. It's a potpourri. Do you know what a potpourri is? The session today is a potpourri. It's a mixture of all sorts. A little bit of this, a little bit of Maggi from there, a little bit of egusi from there, a little bit of crayfish from there, a little bit of this, that. What's that very healthy southeastern vegetable? Oh, there's one that is very good for your health, like that they used to make so a little bit of everything anyway. So it's an Ilalasepo sort of a session. So what are we talking about today? We are going to be talking about the city boys versus the village boys, but we're especially going to be focusing on the city boys. And then especially, I will start with it actually. I'm especially going to be focusing on this guy that calls himself Cubana Chief Priest. So I'll be focusing on him because I've never really paid any attention to those sort of characters, but today I was paying attention to him, and it struck me just how clever this guy is. You know, of course, it formed this now new partnership with Sheikh Tinubu, and they are pushing, propelling some sort of political organization, which they are calling the City Boy Movement. But so we know that. But what I want to highlight in speaking to that space is just how clever this Cubana chief priest is. So we'll get to that momentarily. A little bit of Peter Obi bashing, of course. The platform is never, the session is never completed without a little bit of Peter Obi bashing. So we do that, of course, in the course of the session. Also, Dele Momodu has come out today to tell us then that he has the formula that removes Tinubu out of power. So we will find out what it means exactly. He also said Atiku lacks 1% of Tinubu's war chest. So if he feels Atiku lacks 1% of Tinubu's war chest, then why exactly does he feel that there's a strategy that removes Tinubu? So we're speaking to that as well. 60-40 power deal finalized as Bala Mohammed fixes date to join APC. So that is this will be the final nail in the coffin of the politics. So should we even go through this one? Let's go through this one right now. Actually, I was going to start with Cubana Chief Priest, but before I start with anything, let me acknowledge Lato Rich, who is the only one that has love for us. He says, hello, one man. Greetings from Abbeywood, London. So I thought Abbeywood was actually Kent. Are you not Kent? I thought you were Kent, not London. But that's Lato Rich right there, the only person that has any love for of course, Agbadorian as well. There's Agbadorian, always the first to say hello. So people continue to say hello in the comment section so we can pause for breath and interact with you. But let me show you this one. Let me bring you this one. All right, let me bring you this one. So this will be the final nail in the coffin of the 2027 elections. 60-40 power deal finalized as Bala Mohammed fixes date to join the APC. Do you remember this guy? The one thing that made him famous or made him notorious was about, I'll bring you the clip if you want to see it, was about 6-7 years ago that he told us that all living Fulanis, they are Nigerians, no matter where they are or where they live. So the Fulanis in Burkina Faso, in Guinea, Futa Jalon, where they come from, all the way through the Sahels, the ones in Chad, the ones in Niger, all of them, according to this guy, they are Nigerians, and the Nigerian resources should be dedicated towards servicing them. But he's now joining the APC, apparently, allegedly. 60-40 power deal finalized as Bala Mohammed fixes date to join APC. So the moment this now comes true, the moment this is finalized and is publicly announced and is presented as an APC person, that will be the last day we'll be discussing politics. That will be the end of the elections. So now, all appears set for the governor of Bauchi State, Bala Mohammed, to defect from the People's Democratic Party (PDP) to the All Progressive Congress (APC) on Tuesday as part of a new political alignment. Sources familiar with the development told correspondents that the governor's decision followed several meetings with Bola Ahmed Tinubu and top leaders of the ruling party in recent weeks. So let me do that again. Actually, all appears said for the governor of Bauchi State, Bala Mohammed, to defect from the People's Democratic Party (PDP) to the All Progressive Congress (APC) on Tuesday as part of a new political alignment. Sources familiar with the development told correspondents that the governor's decision followed several meetings with Bola Ahmed Tinubu and top leaders of the ruling party in recent weeks. Insiders disclosed that Mohammed's entry into the APC was cemented after negotiations that reportedly granted him a 60-40 power sharing formula within the party structure in the state. So this has been rumored for quite a while now that Bala Mohammed was in his way to the APC. So it had been rumored for a good while now, but it was really how much of the party structures they hand over to him, because that's quite a big thing actually, because he already has the control of the PDP structures in whichever state, in Bauchi state. So if you hand over the APC structures to him as well, he will become all powerful in that state. So they needed sufficient enough to vest confidence in him in order to hand over that level of power to him. So it looks as though that confidence has now been attained. Insiders disclosed that Mohammed's entry into the APC was cemented after negotiations that reportedly granted him a 60-40 power sharing formula within the party structure in the state. The arrangement is also said to include a Senate ticket for the governor after the expiration of his tenure. However, one key issue yet to be fully resolved is Mohammed's request to nominate his successor in the 2027 governorship elections. Our sources said President Tinubu had insisted that control of the party structure in the state should remain with the party leadership rather than any individual. The hesitation over handing over the structure to Mohammed is said to stem from the political sensitivity of Bauchi State, which has several influential political actors with governorship ambitions. Amongst those reportedly interested in the position are the Minister of Health, Ali Pate, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tugar, and Oil and Gas Executive, Bala Wonti. So who would you want to be the governor of Bauchi State? I would not be averse to Yusuf Tugar being the governor of Bauchi State. Is eminently qualified. He has a good command of language, is very, very savvy and very, very politically astute. And I don't have the expectation that he'll be a fundamentalist like Bala Mohammed. Amongst those reportedly interested in the position are Minister of Health, Ali Pate, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tugar, and Oil and Gas Executive Bala Wonti. Despite the unresolved issue, Mohammed is said to have concluded arrangements to formally join the APC at a ceremony expected to be attended by key party leaders. If the defection materializes, the number of APC governors nationwide would reportedly increase to 32, leaving the PDP and other opposition parties with only a few governors. The a few means 3. No, 4 actually, because Adeleke is with Accord Party. So you have Sheyi Makinde still with the Lone Ranger in the PDP. You have Adeleke Accord Party, and then you have Abga, and you have one Labour Party. So a few means 4 out of 36. Meanwhile, ahead of a proposed reconciliation meeting within the PDP, loyalists of the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Yemsen Wike, have outlined what they described as non-negotiable conditions for talks. The reconciliation meeting is expected to involve the faction led by Tinamu Turaki and the camp loyal to Wike. So I'm not sure how anybody called Tinamu Turaki is going to outmuscle Wike in politics. Pardon me. Speaking on behalf of the Wike Group, the National Publicity Secretary of the Caretaker Committee, aligned with the Minister Haruna Mohammed, said the group was open to reconciliation but had firm conditions. We are open to reconciliation, but we have conditions that are non-negotiable, he said. According to the group, the first condition is that the March 29 National Convention of the PDP must hold as scheduled. So it then goes into PDP affairs, but the real thing I wanted to bring to you was that Bala Mohammed now soon to be an APC member. So it just seems so unfair what Tinubu is doing there. So a lot of these things, I'll just bring you the headlines. I won't give you the full readouts. I'll just bring you the headlines, and then let me send the link again. Actually, so I see Dele Momodu right there. So please, people, say hello as you are coming in. Say something in the comment section just to keep the place alive and active. So I'll bring you just maybe the headline and a few paragraphs. Nigeria's inflation rate dropped marginally to 15.06% in February. So where's it dropping from? There was a time it was 30 point something. So that's the economy taking shape then, stabilizing somewhat. And then this was going to be the headline piece. Attacking Tinubu, what would happen if Atiku contest alongside Obi? So here is the pen for hire. Is this from Dele Momodu or? Oh, I think this is coming from Reno Mokri. Oh, all right. Let's just take a few paragraphs. Reno Mokri, the recently appointed Nigerian ambassador to Mexico, has projected the possibility of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar losing woefully should he run a joint ticket with the former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, in the 2027 presidential election. The former presidential aide made the comment whilst reacting to the claim of Dele Momodu, a veteran journalist and publisher, that the joint ticket of Tinubu and Obi, that would be Atiku and Obi, not Tinubu, but they wrote Tinubu there. Well, I think we know what they mean. The former presidential aide made the comment whilst reacting to the claim of Dele Momodu, a veteran journalist and publisher, that the joint ticket of Atiku and Obi would defeat President Tinubu and the ruling APC in the 2027 presidential elections. Omokri made the claim. Omokri explained that Atiku Obi, who made significant statements in the 2023 presidential election, could lose even Adamawa, the home state of the former vice president, in 2027. He explained that as much as northern Nigeria places value on politics, religion is more important to the people than politics. Thus, he posited that the North would not vote for someone like Peter Obi, who once allegedly said he would unleash religious war on Muslims in the country. So I think they're going to be representing that. So that's that one right there. So that's Reno Omokri's reasoning. But what was Reno Omokri's ask? Where is that? So what was Reno Omokri speaking to? I hear you ask. This is what Reno Omokri was speaking to. Tinubu will be gone. Momodu speaks on only tickets that can sack Tinubu in 2027 election. Dele Momodu, publisher of its Ovation magazine. Is it still actually in circulation? Is the question. Dele Momodu, publisher of Ovation magazine, has said that an opposition ticket involving Atiku Abubakar and a southern political figure with alliance to the ADC could unseat President Tinubu in the 2027 elections. Momodu, speaking in an interview on Channels Television's Politics Today program, monitored by correspondents, argued that a coalition ticket featuring Atiku, a former Nigerian vice president, and a prominent politician such as former governors Rotimi Amechi or Peter Obi could significantly weaken the ruling party's chances in the next general election. So this is just the most ridiculous of things to say. I believe if we have a combination of Atiku, maybe with Peter Obi, or maybe with Rotimi Amechi, or any other person that comes from the South, Tinubu will be gone. It will be the end of Tinubu's foundation, not the APC. According to him, Atiku's long-standing presidential ambition and experience positions him as a formidable contender if he emerges as the ADC candidate for the 2027 elections. And Momodu, an ally of Atiku, added, from my analysis, Atiku Abubakar, even those who did not like Atiku before, now he is smelling like roses because the enemy of your enemy is my friend. He has prepared forever, just like Donald Trump was preparing forever. People said Donald Trump is old and, like a joke, is doing his second term. I believe that there must be opposition politics. There must be opposition candidates, but Tinubu wants to contest against himself, and it doesn't make sense to me. Asked whether he believes Atiku has what it takes to defeat Tinubu in 2027, Momodu said the Adamawa-born politician's political structure and persistence makes him a leading aspirant. So yes, I think we all already know that 2027 is Atiku versus Tinubu or Tinubu versus Atiku. The only thing that we're not clear on is who Atiku's running mate is going to be. So once we know who Atiku's running mate is going to be, then we know the shape that the election is likely to take. But we all already know that 2027 is going to be Atiku versus Tinubu, just like 2023 was. Earlier, Momodu admitted that it is sad and difficult to watch chieftains of the PDP leave the party and defect to the ruling All Progressive Congress APC. He, however, asserted that the only option left to democratically oust President Tinubu is to play ethnic and religious cards. So that's the nature of the politics. That's the politics that he is recommending, and he's an Atiku advisor. So this is what he said, though, on national television. He, however, asserted that the only option left to democratically oust President Tinubu is to play ethnic and religious cards. A former governor of Lagos State and a veteran power broker at the heart of Nigeria's political class, Tinubu is at the also they round it off with a little biopsy. Is it biopsy? A little bio of Tinubu. But there it is right there. So that's Dele Momodu's. So that comes as no surprise to anyone. It's silver. And by the way, Dele Momodu has been in Atiku's payroll for a good while now. Still staying with Dele Momodu, Atiku lacks 1% of Tinubu's war chest. So how exactly is he going to win is the thing. It's just, it tells us all of the reasons why Atiku cannot win. And then he lands on the assertion that Atiku will win. 2027, Atiku lacks 1% of Tinubu's war chest. Is the fat boy from Edo State, Dele Momodu. A chieftain of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, Dele Momodu, has said former Vice President Atiku Abubakar does not possess the financial resources needed to match President Bola Tinubu ahead of the 2027 presidential elections. And if you want to know what it means, go and watch Seyi Tinubu in Enugu State. He was dashing out motorbikes, refrigerators, deep freezers, etc., to just a crowd of market women in Enugu State. So, and that's just at the Seyi Tinubu level. So we already know how can somebody like Obi or Atiku possibly match that? Where are they going to get the money from? A chieftain of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, Dele Momodu, has said that former Vice President Atiku Abubakar does not possess the financial resources needed to match President Bola Tinubu ahead of the 2027 presidential elections. Momodu made the statement whilst appearing as a guest on blah, blah, blah channels television. During the interview, the Ovation publisher expressed concern about what he described as Nigeria's gradual slide towards a one-party state, comparing the current political climate to the period of former military rulers and Abacha. He noted that although there is clear financial disparity between the two camps, his decision to support Atiku is rooted in his belief in the need for a vibrant opposition in the country. How can Atiku, 80-something-year-old Atiku, how can he possibly represent vibrant opposition? I'm not even sure if he understands what those words mean. I would describe this moment as being worse than that of the Abacha government. Many people are worried that we now have virtually a one-party state. Well, not many people are worried. The opposition may be worried, but not everybody. Atiku does not have 1% of Tinubu's war chest. No, he doesn't have it. You can imagine how much Tinubu can generate from Lagos State alone, not to talk of nationally. And when you have an absolute ruler, everything is available to him. Momodu also displayed suggestions that he might eventually abandon Atiku, stressing that he had not participated in any private political meetings without the former vice president's knowledge. He said, it's easier for me to move to Tinubu than to move to Atiku. I am 1,000,000 times closer to Tinubu than to Atiku. In fact, people are telling Atiku that Dele is Tinubu's spy till today. Don't trust him. Dele is part of Tinubu's strategy. He's using him to spy on you. But there is nothing to spy on. I have not attended any secret private meetings without Atiku. So that's there's every possibility that Dele Momodu might well be a Tinubu spy, but there's not sufficient enough in him to be a Tinubu spy. What does he offer? It's not as though it's not especially clever. It doesn't have courage politically, so there's nothing he has to offer that will make him a political spy. So let's go on to that, to matters more serious. Bomb explosions rock Maiduguri. So it's been a very, very long time since we actually had this as a headline. So this is the resurgence of the Boko Haram people. And of course, they're being brought back for reasons of politics. So these are just what, I'm not going to play you the clip because it may well trigger a YouTube strike or something. So I won't play you the thing, but you can see just the aftermath of the explosion. Explosion has been recorded in 3 locations in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. I have to phone Hassan tomorrow, make sure it's safe. Multiple sources told correspondents that the incidents occurred around 7:30 p.m. Monday, March the 16th, 2026. A resident of the city, Abdul Ahmed, said the explosions were heard around El Kanemi Monday Market and University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital. Another resident, Fadila Abdulrahman, corroborated this, adding that another location was targeted around the post office. It is not clear yet what caused the explosions, but residents said they suspect bombs planted by Boko Haram insurgents. So that has resurfaced in Maiduguri, and I think we all know why. It's all about the elections. So this is the only politics that the North knows how to play, politics of violence. Bomb explosions rock Maiduguri. We've just now gone through that. What's this one offering us? Is there one more? All right. I think that's what we have. All right. Let's do a little bit of Peter Obi mocking before we go to the Kubana chief priest piece that I wanted to show you. So now, tell me if you can hear the audio on this one. I'm not sure if the audio will come through. So tell me if you can hear the audio on this one.
That you did not leave any tangible legacy in your state. Can I ask you to explain why Mr. Soludo is wrong?
If I want people ask me what did you do in Anambra State, I said I brought civility and order in governance. at least abroad and all that behavior. You see, often at time, are people looking for physical infrastructure as.
Listen to the question, listen to the response. So that was an interview with Kadira Ahmed, as you all know. We all know Kadira Ahmed. Thank you for letting me know, Latorich. So listen to the question and listen to the response. So Kadira Ahmed is saying to our friend Peter Obi that, look, your successor, Charles Soludo, he said you left nothing tangible in the 8 years that you governed Anambra State. So remember, of course, Obi is always telling us to go and verify. So Kadira Ahmed has gone to verify, and she's reporting back to him that, look, your friend Charles Soludo, he said you left nothing tangible in Anambra State, haven't governed the state for 8 years. So that was the question, and this is Peter Obi's response. It beggars belief. Unbelievable stuff.
Recently, Charles Soludo said that you did not leave any tangible legacy in your state. Can I ask you to explain why Mr. Soludo is wrong?
When people ask me what did you do in Anambra State, I said I brought civility and order in government and governance. At least I brought an ordered behavior. You see, often at time, are people looking for physical infrastructure.
So that's the promise to the Nigerian state. Don't worry about infrastructure. If Peter Obi is president, he will bring you civilized behavior. Soludo accused him of doing nothing in Anambra State. They pointed that question to him, and he said, no, if you are looking for infrastructure, I built nothing, but I civilized the space. It's not me saying it, though. That's what he said now. Soludo accused him of doing absolutely nothing for 8 years. Kadira Ahmed puts it to him that this is what your successor said, and that was Obi's response, that if people wanted infrastructure, they are looking in the wrong direction, that what he did for Anambra State for 8 years was to civilize the space. Is Obi himself civilized? For him, but there it is anyway. We continue to mock Obi until the elections are gone. So let me just play it. This time I won't pause it. It's just the ridicule of it. It speaks for itself.
Recently, Charles Soludo said that you did not leave any tangible legacy in your state. Can I ask you to explain why Mr. Soludo is wrong?
When people ask me what did you do in Anambra State, I said I brought civility and order in government and governance. At least I brought an ordered behavior. You see, often at time, are people looking for physical infrastructure as a model? No. There's a difference between even people having what you call ordered behavior.
So inculcating a culture.
A culture of ordered behavior, a pattern, a discipline. And people can say, this man is doing the right thing. I brought them.
Recently, Charles.
All right, I was speaking not knowing I was muted. So I was saying next, I want to speak to you about this guy on your screen right here. They call him Cubana Chief Priest. And I was saying, often when I call...
You see this man they call Cubana Chief Priest. When a lot of people see him, they say, money na water. But yesterday I saw a different version of this man. Not only money be water, wisdom na water.
This thing I started...
Barrister Sheyi, my very good friend.
All right, I don't know why it's not pausing. Yeah, but as I was saying, often when I come across all these Cubana Chief Priest sort of people, I just point and laugh and then I move on. But then in this particular instance, I wasn't pointing and laughing. I was actually paying attention to him, and it struck me just how clever the guy is. So we're going to play this now, and then we'll see just why I am suggesting that this guy is very clever. So here he is presenting Sheyi Tinubu to his audience. So I'll refresh it so it starts from the beginning.
And what
You see this man they call Cubana chief priest. When a lot of people see him, they say, money na water. But yesterday I saw a different version of this man. Not be only money be water, wisdom na water. Watch.
Barrister Sheyi, my very good friend, my in-law, my brother. You know, most of you don't know that Sheyi is marrying an Igbo girl. They will not tell you that because they want to take him away from us. But we have taken our brother back completely. Because this is a guy who has always made us understand that we are one regardless of where we come from. And today he has proved it. Tomorrow he will still do it again. We love you, Sheyi Tinubu. And what we have shown you today in abundance.
All right. So we love you, Sheyi Tinubu. You heard him say there. But we love you, Sheyi Tinubu. You heard him say there. But there's also this saying that there's no romance without finance. So there's a cost to the love that Cubana chief priest, Obi Cubana, and the rest of them. There's a cost to the love that is expressing to Sheyi Tinubu right there. There is a cost, and I'll be telling you the cost of this love in a moment. It's an eye-popping amount of money. But what struck me about this guy is his public eloquence, his understanding of his audience, and his capacity to carry the conversation along. You see what this guy is doing on that rostrum, on that podium right there. It requires real skills. It requires quick thinking. It requires an understanding of the audience, and it requires the crafting of the language to still maintain your own steez whilst you're still getting across the messaging you're trying to get across. It's a masterclass in public speaking, even though he's speaking it in pedestrianized language.
It's nothing but love. And that is what we expect in return. We're just looking for a fair share. You know, easy. And I just read you when they are in our job. Obi Cubana and he was here anymore a couple of years ago with an amazing business. And that is what brought me to Limelight. That is what made me big. And that is what's up with partnership. And that is what we have chosen to do with City Boy Movement. We have decided to partner with the government in the center. We are not ready to fight. We've tried fighting and it didn't work for us.
So just you know what you know, everybody utters is an epic, it's a banger, and the way he's crafting the narrative as well is not conceding anything, whilst he's also taking a lot from his audience. So what am I saying? So he's telling them first, he drops first that Sheyi Tinubu is their in-law, so which is an invitation to see him as one of their own. And then he said, we are partnering with government at the center, and we know that it's only the center that gravitates anything in Nigeria. So we know that as well. And then he said, we've tried fighting, and fighting has not worked for us. So you see that singular statement right there, he points the arrowhead in so many directions. We've tried fighting, but fighting has not worked for us. That's what he said. So when you look at we've tried fighting, he's speaking to the IPOB Biafra space, he's speaking to the Peter Obi space, and he's speaking to any ethnic jingo that is going on within that space. And he knows his audience very well. So just those simple words is pointing it to the pockets of resistance that he has identified within that space. So that's a masterful crafting of utterances, and you need to have a deep and a textured understanding of your audience in order to maneuver words in this way. So I thought that was excellently put.
The best we can do is partnership. We have shown you love, ST, and I know you're going to reply in 1,000-fold. In my life, you have made a very bold statement by taking me to the villa to meet your father, the president of this country. See, as my enemies see that picture, they run away. He did it out of love because at the past election, I did not support Ashwaju. I had to be an evil boy. I had to do some careless mistakes. But they say first food will be food, and second food will be proper. Politics is a game. It's a game. And it's a game that you would love to win.
All right. It goes on for a little bit longer, but I think you get the essence of what he's saying there. But you get the essence of what he's saying there. But there's a cost to all of these things that he's saying. And where's that other one? I think I may well have dropped that other one. There is a cost to what he's saying, and people have put a price tag on that cost. And essentially, what Obi Kubana is doing there, the speech he's making there, is a 30 billion naira speech. No, that's all right. So it's a 30 billion naira speech, the speech that Obi Kubana is making there. This is according to some of the estimates that we have heard that there was that they've invested 30 billion naira in that push to make incursions into the east. So and that all right. And that figure it shouldn't really sound out of skew, by the way. Is this the one I was after? Let me see. Is this the one?
To Pascal Ukechuku, money na water. You are welcome.
All right. So I can't find the other one that gives us a breakdown of the figures, but there's another clip that actually breaks down the figure to arrive at 30 billion naira. So, and it would take that sort of money to move somebody like Obi Kubana, because Obi Kubana himself is not a poverty-stricken human being. So that's just the nature of politics. That is exactly how it's unfortunate. You may like it or you may not like it, but that is the nature of politics in Nigeria. That's how politics in Nigeria plays and is played. You know, it's a war chest politics. It's a very monetized sort of a system, and the guy with the biggest wallet often holds sway. So for Sheyi Tinubu to have gone and bought people like Obi Kubana, etc., and then you have the opposition space going around market squares buying Ekpa and all that. So that tells you all you need to know in terms of what distinguishes whom from whom. So what distinguishes whom from whom? Let me see. There's one other clip that I wanted to play you. Let me play you this clip. You know, this now next clip, it speaks to the cashless policy. Now, actually, I'm not even going to play the clip. I'll just play you the Kegite music instead. I may play it later in the course of the stream. But there's a particular clip that speaks to the cashless policies that they're trying to introduce at the airports, which I, for one, I endorse. I think the airports should be cashless. All transactions in the airport should be cashless. So I agree with that. So I'll play the Kegite music. I'll send the link for anybody that wants to come in. We'll see if people turn up for the conversation.
Only water, where they see my water. Oh, yes, water.
Only water where is Sima.
Hapa o naido.
Hapa o Naido.
Hapa you don't come o. Hapa o naido. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Ilé sọ́díyà kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Bobby Master kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Chief Wáìlà tí kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mùdé. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùdóde ojàre o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́ọ̀dì o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Odúyẹ̀lá ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosonana ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosodúnkẹ́ ẹyẹ rẹ̀ ó dilé o. Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Àkùkọ ọ̀run mẹ́kọ. Ikú kò ní ríwà gbéṣe o.
And there it is right there. Ikuko Neru Agbeche, may death have nothing to do with us. Big apologies. I've not yet brought you the headline piece, so I must bring you the headline piece. Indigo rejects state police, backs regional policing. So all of the resistance against state policing, we were expecting it to come from the north. So it comes as a surprise somewhat that the southeasterners are rejecting it. But what are the reasons why? Indigo rejects state police, backs regional policing. So we go through this one quickly. A pan-Igbo social political organization, the Indigo Worldwide Union, on Sunday rejected the ongoing proposal to establish state police in Nigeria. The group urged the federal government to instead restore a regional policing structure similar to the system that existed before the 1966 Nigerian military coup. So what they are proposing is a reversion to the regionalized police structures that we had in the First Republic. But then that regionalized police structure, it is out of skew with the reconfiguration of states as we have them now. So if they are going to have like a regionalized police structure, then we have to first deal with the question of what the composition of a region is. So are we going with the loosely tagged 6 geopolitical space as we have it now, or are we going back to the 1996 template that thereafter to go with regions as we had it in 1966, in 1960? And if we're going back to that sort of regionalized system like we had in 1966, then a lot of states that were carved out of the eastern region, we have to be re-co-opted back into the regional system, into the eastern region. So spaces like Calabar, etc., River State, Cross River, they'll have to be reintegrated into an eastern region sort of a system. And then the policing then overarches that. So this is somewhat of a backdoor Biafra narrative. That's just how I saw it. That's why I wanted to bring it forward. It's a backdoor Biafra narrative. That's how I read it. All right. Indigo rejects state police, backs regional policing. A pan-Igbo social political organization, the Indigo Worldwide Union, on Sunday rejected the ongoing proposal to establish state police in Nigeria. The group urged the federal government to instead restore a regional policing structure similar to the system that existed before the 1966 Nigerian military coup. In a statement signed by its president, Mazi Ben Nwakwo, and Secretary Chief Charles Edemuzo Saturday, the group argued that regional policing remains the most effective way to tackle Nigeria's worsening security challenges, including banditry, kidnapping, and communal violence. The union said many Nigerians have lost confidence in the current centralized security system and want that creating state police would not solve the underlying problems. So yes, of course, a lot of Nigerians, in fact, every Nigerian, we are all in consensus that the policing structure that as we have it now is not fit for purpose. But having a regionalized policing system, it speaks to a different sort of agenda. The union said many Nigerians have lost confidence in the current centralized security system and want that creating state police would not solve the underlying problems. According to the statement, state police is not the answer. Regional police, modeled on the successful architecture of 1955 to 1966, is the minimum requirement for meaningful reform. The call comes amidst renewed national debate about decentralizing policing in Nigeria. President Bola Tinubu has urged constitutional amendments to allow state police as part of broader efforts to address insecurity across the country. Supporters of state police argued that decentralizing security operations would enable faster responses to local threats. Nigeria currently operates a centralized police structure controlled by the federal government. However, the Indigo Worldwide Union believes that the state police proposal could create a new political and governance problem. According to the group, Nigeria once experienced its most stable and prosperous period under the regional system that existed between the mid-1950s and 1966, when the northern, western, and eastern regions enjoyed significant autonomy, including their own police force. The union argued that policing worked more effectively during that period because the officers were drawn from local communities and had deep knowledge of the language, culture, and geography of the areas they served. Nigeria's most progressive and peaceful era occurred between 1955 and 1966, when the regions operated their own police forces. Indigenous officers policed familiar terrain, spoke local languages, and understood community dynamics. This fostered trust and improved security, the statement added. The group blamed Nigeria's current security difficulties partly on the centralized policing structure introduced after the military takeover in 1966. According to the union, the system often places officers in communities where they lack cultural familiarity and community relationships, which can undermine trust and effectiveness. The organization argues that sending officers from distant regions to command policing operations elsewhere could create mistrust between communities and security agencies. So yes, and that is why they are creating state policing. So this is not an argument against state policing. This is an argument for state policing because, of course, if they have state policing, then the recruitment into that force will be locals in that state. So they will not have state policing in a Gombe state, and then they go to Ekiti to go and recruit police officers from there. So it will be the people of Gombe that they will recruit to police their own state. So I'm not quite sure what they are warning against. The group argued that sending officers from distant regions to command policing operations elsewhere could create mistrust between communities and security agencies. So that's the system as it obtains now, and that's the system that we're looking to move away from. The centralization imposed after 1966 dismantled an effective system and replaced it with a distant national force, often commanded by officers unfamiliar with the region they serve. Regional police would empower officers indigenous to their geopolitical zones and provide built-in checks against any single governor weaponizing the police, the union said. The group suggested that the 6 geopolitical zones, northwest, northeast, north central, southeast, southwest, and south south, could each operate regional police command. So I think this negates my argument that it might not be a Biafra narrative, because if they're asking for a southeastern wide police force, then that recognizes the south south as well. But then there's nothing stopping them from still having that. They can just have a regional cooperation amongst the state policing within that region. So that's the argument right there. So that's the Ohanese, not the Ohanese Indigo, because this seems to be a different group, but a representation from the southeast pushing back against our state policing. So that was the headline piece. So that's that. So that was the headline piece. So that's that. Let me start bringing people up. We got Baba in the house. Always a delight when Baba is here. We got Zita in the house. Always a delight when Zita is here. And then we got Choma in the house as well. I'm not sure if she's still in Nigeria or not. So for the first time ever, the ladies actually, if you exclude myself, the ladies actually outnumber the gentlemen on the screen. So for the first time ever, the ladies actually, if you exclude myself, I've muted myself for a moment. If you exclude myself, for the first time ever, the ladies outnumber the gentlemen on the screen. So, but there's still plenty of spaces. Anybody that wants to jump on, jump on. You're tired of my voice, so let's hear somebody else. So, who wants to kick it off? Shall we kick it off with Chioma, who I think is joining us from Nigeria? Chi, Wagwan.
Good evening, woman. How are you? I'm so tired.
Why are you tired?
So, well, look at the time. But
Chale.
anyway, woman,
Are you still in Nigeria, by the way?
yes.
My God.
So, woman, your headline is way off. I would have messaged you this, on WhatsApp, but I don't know. I forgot. But this is misplaced priorities, to be honest with you. You were supposed to say something about Sunday Behold rejecting state police, and even rejecting Yoruba Nation, right? And then there's Fulani bandits at Akure airport. Do you know that? And there's many people that died from the Fulanis in you know Kwara State. So your focus should not be in Debo rejecting state police. Is the fact that there's no more Yoruba Nation, and Sunday Behold is supporting Tinubu. So I don't know how. That's so embarrassing, to be
No,
honest
but
with
but
you.
no, but
If I was
this is more clickbaity now. That's not a clickbaity.
no, but then sometimes we need to
The,
leave
the, the,
clickbait. Or we need to leave
why would we leave?
clickbait.
That's our meat. That's our bread and
No,
butter
and
now.
focus on priorities is so much more important because let's say, God forbid, something happens to Tinubu now, and then the North takes over. Then what becomes of Yoruba Nation? Who's going to be their new leader? That should be your headline. You need to focus on your people, or, I don't know the word you guys are using, buying or dying, whatever the word is. You need to focus on your people. Like, what is the next strategy for Yoruba people? Because who's going to protect your land? Obviously, Tinubu is not protecting Yoruba land. And Sunday Iboho is lost from bribery. They bribed him, and now he's rejecting Yoruba. He's literally rejecting Yoruba nation. And which I understand in a way because, Tinubu is now, president. So he wants to support his brother. Right. But what is Tinubu doing for Yoruba land? Like, somebody has to be in the front line to fight for your people. Like Yoruba land is open. And mind you, I'm an Igbo girl speaking for your people, and you're here speaking for Igbo. In Igbo, we are secured. Okay, Fulani can never come to Igbo land. That's why I'm laughing. You know, they tried it, and we're not even arresting them. We're just killing them. You understand? They can't try that rubbish. And let me and how far. But I don't understand why your focus is in Igbo. It should be on Yoruba. Like your land is open, like there's open grazing now. Like they can, like they have access to Yoruba land. Can you imagine Akure Airport? Why didn't you mention that in your headline? Like that is bad. The fact that Fulani people are at an international airport in Yoruba land.
All
No,
right.
like
The
so
first
much
thing is
boldness.
the first thing
Huh?
is I'm not aware that Korea has an airport, never mind an international one.
What is in the
And
headline?
I didn't even come across that story. I would have gone. It wouldn't have been my headline, but it would have been part of the things that I would have brought forward. But you know,
I wish. And can we talk about Sunday Boho? Like who's going to be the Yoruba Nation spokesman? Like
but
think about it.
we
We
already
don't
have a
even
spokesperson
who
now.
Tinubu?
No. It's called Shango or Batala Yemoja. So those are the people
Okay.
that protect Yoruba land. It's not Sunday Igbo or Tinubu now.
Oh
We
really?
have we
Because
have, we have we have
uh-huh.
deities or
Oh
Numila. You know
okay. You have
that's
to
where our
basically
protect. Yes.
you're talking about the shrines, right? Like is it Ogun or Gon, whatever it's called?
Yes.
Okay. That's good. I mean, that's good,
It's
I guess.
people like Oni of Ife. Those are the people that protect Yoruba land, not Tinubu or Igbo or anybody like that.
Yes, but I'm not seeing any results. I'm being honest. I'm not seeing any results. And I feel like, in as much as Tinubu is president, I feel like he need to really tackle these Fulani people. Because, I mean, they're making him look like a joke. This is in your own land. If I was president, I would not have any terrorists attack my people. I will handle it accordingly. You get my point? So that's just what I wanted to say. Um, Now about that fat boy. What's the name of the fat boy? Um,
Obi Kubana.
no, he's not fat. The other one, the chief priest, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they're all the same now. Yeah, there was there a difference? Yeah, all the same now.
So my thing is, I think they're all looking for their own benefit of their pockets, and of course, their businesses. Let's be honest. I mean,
You know, there was
I feel like they're already ashamed of what they're doing. They're not doing
no,
it with pride.
no, forget that now. Hold on, Choma. Let me
But I
tell you
hope you
this.
know that, right? Like
No,
deep down, when you sit back and think about it, they're not.
no.
It's not genuine.
Choma, 30 billion naira. It covers any amount of shame. There's a breakdown of the figures.
So
30 billion naira. Huh?
I'm glad to know that you're so wise.
No, we all know it's a money play now, but this is a
Okay.
once in a
That's good. I'm glad
lifetime
you know that.
opportunity. This is a
Yeah,
once in a lifetime
of course.
opportunity for them now.
And I
Yeah,
don't
well,
blame them.
and
I
they know
don't
that
blame
whether
them.
they back Tinubu or not, Tinubu will win. So what's the point? 30 billion naira is not to be sniffed at.
Exactly. So I mean, I don't. That's why I just wanted to point that out to you. I don't blame them. I'm not judging them, right? But me, I kind of have shame. I wouldn't really do it publicly. But like I would not, but I have shame, I have respect for myself. So especially when it comes to social media, and money is not everything, to be honest with you.
Is that your man talking or somebody
No,
else?
I'm serious. Money is not
Uh,
everything. No, money.
is that you talking?
I have my name to protect and my own integrity, because I feel like you've
Your
gotten to a level where
your name goes above 30 billion
no,
naira.
yes,
Your
yes,
name
one
is
man.
above. Are you
No, no,
joking?
no, no. I've
Are
come
you
to a place
joking?
where I have touched money. I've touched enough money. I've entered a
Yeah,
Bentley.
but
I've
you've
ridden.
not touched 30 billion naira.
I've been in a private jet. I don't need to get that much. I don't need to be Donald Trump. I don't need to have Tinubu's money. I don't need that. Like it's never that serious. That's why someone like Mazi Namdekano is stubborn. There are certain people that are stubborn in life. You cannot bribe them. And when you come to a point
Are
where
you
you've
saying
seen
Nnamdi
it,
Kanu has not been bribed?
He's not
She
been
doesn't. She
bribed.
doesn't know anything.
No, no. So,
She
Madam
doesn't
Zita,
know
he's probably
nothing.
no. He's probably been bribed, right? Just like Sunday Boho, right? But you see the difference. He's still in prison, and Sunday Boho is just flexing, supporting the government, which is fine. I understand. Some people are cheap and some people are not. But I'm telling you, in all honesty, Madam Zita, I've seen it all. I've entered private jet. There's like I've seen money. I've touched money to where there's just certain things that my integrity matters more. You get my point? I would never be on camera, doing certain things against my people, especially if it does not favor all of my people. You get my point?
Forget that. Let me tell you something, Achoma.
I
You
rather
see,
I will
oh
I
no,
will rather
hold on.
support I will rather
Yeah, no,
support
say this.
low key than publicly. That's what I'm trying to say.
Hold on. Let me tell you something. You see,
I
that's
won't
what
do it with my full chest.
Yes, I know you will. But let me tell you
No, I'm
something.
not.
Just hold on now. That word integrity that you used, that's a price tag. Integrity as a word is nothing but a price tag. It's just that you have priced yourself to a certain level. And when that price is matched, you forget that integrity.
No.
Okay.
That I'm just telling that's because let me tell you something. There's people that have had it all. And guess what? They commit suicide the next day. They die. They catch one disease and then that's it. There's more to life than just money. I'm telling you. Yeah, money is good. You're comfortable. But I've seen enough money. I have enough money
Let me
to
tell
the
you
point
what.
where I personally know I have enough money to a point where there are just certain things I cannot do for money.
All right. You're not the
Like
first
it's
person to say that.
enough.
Let me
Like
tell
it's
you what.
enough for me.
Let me tell you what is above money. It's not integrity. Do you know what is above money? It's
What?
more money. That's
Okay.
the only thing above money is more money.
I,
Yes.
I
Do you
just
know
feel
what?
like there are just
Do you
certain
know the
times,
power? Do you know the power of money?
but there should
Do
be
you know the
enough.
power?
But
Look
there
at
should
this
be
guy.
for one man, there should be enough to where you just be content and satisfied and be like, you know what, I'm good. I'm gonna just chill with the one I have. Like I wouldn't, someone like me, I wouldn't want to handle over $50 million because I'm a humble person at heart. You know, I'm a modest person. I don't want to be handling over 50. Like, yes, I would have two accountants handling my money and investing it, but I don't want that type of money on my name. That's too much. That's the kind of person I'm very modest. So I'm just running a heavenly race. That's pretty much so everybody has their own, theme that moves them, but I'm not moved by money like that. You get my
All
point?
right, but don't knock Cubana chief priest, though. You know,
No, I'm not knocking him. No, one man,
admire
I'm
him.
not knocking one man. I'm not knocking him. I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying I hope you know it's because of money.
If people give me 30 billion naira now, I will change. I will go to. There's something called deed poll in this country. That's what you use to change your legal names. Your legal name. If somebody gave me 30 billion naira, I will change my name to Peter Obi. You know.
Well,
And then I will come on this platform and I'll start shouting Obi Obi
but
Obi.
one man,
That's just
but
how
think
life.
about it.
That's yeah.
We're not gonna be buried with all that money. Like, God forbid, even the richest of the richest, when they die, they're not dying with their money. Yeah, the kids will inherit it and they will enjoy it. But I mean, we're not dying with all that money. You get what I'm saying? But I'm not knocking chief priest. He can do whatever he wants. But I just wanted you to know that it's all about money. It's money moves right there. And there's nothing wrong with that's his own thing. But me, I can't do certain things. I can't, I mean I can low key, but not publicly. Oh no, I have shame. That's what I have to say. But I'm going to bed one minute. I'll be watching live though.
Excuse me, what is shameful on what Gubana chief priest? What is shameful about what they're doing?
No, no,
Let's
I'm
let's
just saying
let's
because
let's keep the
it's a
money
lack of
aside.
integrity.
Huh?
Madam Zita, it's a lack of integrity when people
What is
just
the
go anywhere
integrity
the
in
wind
it?
blows, just because they were just supporting Peter Obi last election, they were all about, righteousness and doing the right thing, supporting Peter Obi. All of a sudden, they have decamped to APC like other politicians.
Can I
It's
ask you
just
an honest question?
yes, ma'am.
Honestly, sincerely speaking, if
Hmm.
you are a serious voter, a serious one, like somebody want to build his or her career in politics from voting some kind of candidates and relating with them, and from there you start having your own political career, just small here and there. On a serious note, let me ask you a question. If you have a candidate like Peter Obi that runs around like a courtroom, will you actually keep your support? Somebody who is in one place for a time, mean one thing for a time, and keep changing. Like who does that?
But you still,
If you
but no
are
one.
a serious person, look, you see those boys
But
called
Madam
those.
Zita, nobody is forcing them to campaign for Peter Obi. They could just be on the
They're choosing, so
sidelines.
there is nothing like integrity in it.
I know, but they're choosing the total opposite. You see what I'm saying? Total opposite of what they believed in last year. Sometimes you have to be consistent. And if the person you are supporting fails you, then you just keep quiet, you know?
Don't need to keep
But
quiet
And
also,
sit
because
back. I will keep
no,
quiet
Choma,
no,
Choma, hold on.
Obi,
Sorry,
Obi
because
Zita.
never
Obi is
kept.
still not
Hold
Obi
on,
is still not all that
Choma,
bad though.
one man
He's
can
Choma,
not
we
all
have a
Choma.
that
nice
bad.
conversation?
But Madam
No,
Zita, Obi
hold
is
on.
not that bad.
See,
Choma,
let me say this.
hold on, Zita, 1 second. Choma, let Zita engage with you. So when she's trying, open the window for her to, then you can, so
But
that
I
your voice,
did. We are
yeah,
talking.
so that
I
your
never
voices
cut
are not.
off.
Oh God, exactly what I was
You're
just trying to.
you're the one that's cutting off. I'm not cutting her
No,
off.
no, no. I don't
I
want
know,
to.
but she was talking.
No,
You're the one that cut her off.
no. Can you listen for a second?
I am listening, but you're the one interrupting.
Yes, just listen for 1 second.
And you listen too when she's talking.
Oh, yes, I will listen. Please
Okay.
don't make things difficult. All I'm asking is that I don't, if the voices are overlapping each other, then it's not a pleasant experience for the audience. So manage the conversation in that way so that your voices are not overlapping. That's all I'm saying. Zita.
It's not overlapping.
Okay, Chichi, what I'm saying is that the person Obi has not been consistent and he has not been quiet about it. So I don't really see any reason why somebody who has been supporting him should have shame for no longer supporting him. Sometimes when most people discuss Obi, I do laugh, and that's why they hate me. They seem not to be following who he was. Okay, PDP to ABGA, ABGA to PDP, PDP to LP, LP to ADC. We are not even sure what the next one is coming. And he has not been quiet about it. In some instances, he swore with his family, the life of himself and his family. He has not been quiet about it. So if somebody decides to pull out from him, you don't expect that person to be quiet. No, now people have the right to support whosoever they want to support. I, for one, I don't really like this idea of canceling or verifying people just because they have an opinion or they are supporting somebody politically. That's actually wrong. Those boys, if you look at them, they are people who want to remain relevant in the society. They want to be heard. So you don't expect them to follow somebody who doesn't actually do know where he is going, because the way it is, I don't think Peter Obi knows where he's going. I'm not too sure he knows what he wants. So you don't expect those boys to just stay like that. No, now it's not good. They too want make name. Whether they succeed in giving him Southeast, or they don't succeed in giving him. So that's a discussion that will be after the election. Because election is always a surprise. 24 hours in election is a lot. So we are
So,
still
Madam
far
Zita,
away from the day.
so it's for me, it's not really about switching parties. It's about the vision. Peter Obi has a vision. You know, um, it's about the individual. You get my point? I don't see any other politician aside from Peter Obi and maybe Shower that really have a vision of really transforming Nigeria. And that's just to be honest. If we want to be
Really?
like 100% transparent,
Really?
Peter Obi and Showore are the only Nigerian politicians that genuinely has a genuine vision to
Okay.
transform Nigeria. Yes,
For
I
sure.
give kudos. I give kudos to Tinubu because he built Lagos. But that's his town. That's Lagos. That's his city. He's supposed to. He's a governor. You get
And
my
they
point?
will be built
But
where?
I don't see the
Anambra.
vision. I didn't see, I mean, when he was campaigning, I didn't see the vision he has for Nigeria.
And you
All I
didn't
heard
see
is about
Obi's vision did not
cassava and
manifest in
what.
Anambra,
I saw the vision, it manifested.
in
For
Anambra
Tinubu,
State.
the vision Tinubu had for Nigeria was cassava and what. What's
All
the
right.
other?
Agbado.
Agbado,
Yeah.
and then he told us he don't want to tell us his strategy. Only to hear that fuel prices went up the day he, was elected. So it just you just don't know,
Oh,
you
oh,
know.
oh, oh, all right,
But
Choma, we must
I
move the
know
conversation. Yeah.
Peter Obi's vision, Peter Obi and Sure, they have a clear vision. They have a plan. They really want to change the country. They really want to end corruption, which is should be number one in every politician's agenda. We need to end corruption. Period.
All right,
Because
brother.
Nigeria will continue
Nobody can
happening
end
to all of us.
corruption.
No,
Yes, it can. At
Zita,
least,
Nobody can end corruption.
Zita, let Choma land. I
at
just
You
want to
least,
can
move.
at
only
least
reduce it. You can
let's
end it.
reduce it.
You
Thank you. Let's
land
reduce it.
and then we
Can,
move it on.
can any other politician can Tinubu talk about how we can reduce corruption? No, I only hear that Sure mentions it. Only hear Peter Obi mention it, but I've never heard Tinubu mention anything about reducing corruption or even criminality or what the bandits, Fulani bandits, and in Yoruba land, they're just killing all these my people. You don't do that. It's not right. A
Oh,
Yoruba
oh, oh, oh,
president a Yoruba
oh,
president
oh,
is allowing Fulani bandits to be, buying his people. I don't like that. I love
oh, oh,
Yoruba people, and I
oh,
wouldn't
all right.
want. I hate that Yoruba kings are even dying. The way I love Yoruba people, I don't like to hear on the news that bandits have come to Kwara and done this and that. If they want to commit genocide in the north, let them kill themselves by themselves. But why are you bringing your ally to the southwest and south? It's not good. So I'm actually
Oh,
looking out for you, Wame. I'm looking out for your people. That's what I
all right,
came
brother.
to say.
Choma, we have Baba and Zita with us as well, and I'm sure the audience will want to hear their opinions too. So if we're able to move the microphone rounds, just stay with us. I know it's late for you. Maybe you can doze off even in the studio. Just stay with us and keep us company as we move on to Zita. So Zita, there's an abundance in the news, but yes, the Cubana chief priest thing, by the way, that Choma was saying, I get where she's coming from, but I don't think that's the fullness of the understanding. These boys, they did their, the requirements, they did it in 2023. So they did what expectations expected them of. But now in 2027, the landscape has changed. And this opportunity presents for them to make a life-changing amount of money. So, and they know that there's very little chance of Tinubu being moved from that space. So why would they not take the opportunity when it presents itself?
I don't even know why that should be a topic in the first place. Whether Tinubu has chances of moving a needle or not moving from that place, or we move from that place. And the important thing is that when somebody call you to negotiate with you to campaign for him or her, if you want to, it is your fundamental human right to do so. Again, people poured money into Obi's campaign in 2023. Most of us knew he's not going to win, but people still pour money into that place, millions of money, to the extent it caused fracas. So I don't think, I wouldn't see it as that doing it because of money or because Tinubu sure is a sure banker, so let's shop the money because he's going to be there. I wouldn't see it like that because let me tell you something. If that money is being given to those Igbo boys and they end up do not deliver Igbo land, I mean, not just delivering, let's assume they are not able to get 25%. You know what will happen to their career? It has absolutely nothing to do with Tinubu. Their weight, they be weightless. So for us to say, oh, Tinubu will be, yeah, of course, Tinubu can be in Asorok without Igbo land. That's pure true. But then what about them? What about their future? What about their presence, which they have been struggling in one way or the other to create in Nigeria? They are normal business people like every other Nigeria, but from time to time, they try to do one or two things to create a presence. So if they do not deliver that Igbo land and take that money, of course, that presence they've been struggling to create will go. So it's they too, they have something to lose. That's just the truth. Those boys I don't know how to put it. They are not just, they're not, I don't want to say they're not just Igbos. They're not just Nigerians. If you are somebody who has been following them, watching them, you will know that they've been struggling to create a presence one way or the other, and they're getting close to it. Normal, such boys don't go to Aso during the time of Babangida, what's it called? Obasanjo them and Buhari them. But they have found their way into that Aso. I'm sure most of them, that's their first time of getting into that place. So you wouldn't look at them and think all they want is money and get away because Tinubu is going to win. No, they need that presence in Nigeria. And it's very important to them. And if care is not taken, they're going to surprise most Nigerians like Shioma, who is saying they should have shame. I don't even know why she said that anyway.
All right. Do you want to take us to the headline
So,
piece?
Miss Madam Zita, the reason why I said that is the reality is, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world, you know, and then lose their soul? Get my point?
No.
And
I
even
don't even know. I don't even
their
know.
integrity as a man.
I don't even know who has come back to tell you where he was after that. Anyway, but that's not a topic for today. Lose your soul. But I don't really do understand that, but we say
And
it anyway.
integrity.
We said it anyway. That's the integrity I'm talking about. The integrity I'm talking about is that presence I'm talking about, which is very important to them. That presence. They followed Obi. They supported Obi by tweeting and saying one word or the other, or by probably keeping quiet or secretly putting in their money. Obi lost. They still have their presence. So this one they are taking on now is a big challenge to them. Because if they don't get it right, they're going to lose their presence in Nigeria. Look, after 2027, when are they doing the election? 1 month, January or February, wherever.
January the 16th.
And they call the result. and Tinubu was not able to get at least 25% in 4 or 3 out of, or maybe win 2 states, then they're gonna. When you make, please forget those boys.
But for sure, Tinubu will win. I know Tinubu
All
will
right,
I'm
win.
just saying
Choma,
it.
Choma, we want to move away from that topic. So apologies to you. Zita, let's go on to the headline piece, which is you know, there's somewhat of it's not the mainstream Ohanese. I thought it was actually Ohanese when somebody sent it in to me, but there's a narrative pushing back against state policing coming from the southeast. They said instead of state policing, they want a more regionalized sort of a policing. So what do you think underpins that sort of thinking? What do you think the thinking is
One
there?
man, first of all, let me tell you something. I've said this in this platform and I will say it again. Igba Meze. First of all, these people you are talking about, they don't speak to for the Igbos. Those Ohanese and Igbo, Ohanese mainland, Ohanese upland, Ohanese diaspora, they can't. Not that they can't talk, not that they're not fit to say whatever they want to say, but they cannot speak to the Igbos. Why? Because of the way, the tradition and culture of the Igbos. Some group of humans, some group of dynasty, or some group of congress or clan or people cannot control the thinking of the Igbo or to get them to agree on one thing. No, our tradition and culture, it didn't make it that way. So all these things are, let's say some people are talking. Okay, that's the way I see it. Some people
Okay,
are
so
talking.
Madam Zita, do you think Cubana chief priest is talking too?
Of
Knowing
course,
Igbo,
now.
because he man did henkwe. Like
No,
what's happening?
he's talking. He can only win few of you, just like when your so-called Ohanes and Igbo in quotes come. They said they want to do something. If you enter that hall, you will see a lot of Igbos there in their thousands. Those are the ones who support them, but not the generality of Igbos. The same thing with governorship priests. When they go out for their city boy, you will still see people who follow them. They are not speaking for the whole of the Igbos.
Hi,
I'm trying
henkwe.
to draw a
That's what I'm
line.
saying. How ways to get time, huh? Because it's what then
You
they're
cannot
not
be
gonna
too
vote.
sure. You cannot be too sure. But let's leave that one. You
Because
cannot be too
either
sure.
way, Tinubu will win, eh?
I'm
But
not
all
talking
that
about Tinubu winning. I'm
integrity.
talking about winning in Igbo land. There are two different things.
So
Tinubu
almost hang
can
it.
win the president. He has done it before. A lot of presidents has won, walked into Aso Rock without winning any state, without even getting 25%
So
in any state in Igbo
Madam
land. They
Zita,
still made Aso Rock, but that's not what we are talking about. And that is
so
not why the city boy Southeast is being created. The city boy Southeast is being created not because Tinubu cannot win presidency without the Igbos. The reason is because they want people to go to the Southeast and make a statement and try to see if they can change the orientation so that they will not throw their vote into one basket like dumb assholes. Okay? So that's what those people are pushing. Not that Tinubu cannot win Igbo land, win Asorok without Igbo land. But now, let me go back to what I'm saying, one man. So these people are still talking. But if you want to talk about these people that are saying they reject state police, they want regional police, you were reading the article off and on. I was listening, but you would have asked them what they mean by regional police. But from my own thinking, the regional still mean the Biafra land. So they want police for the Biafra land. That's what they're talking about, which include policing Delta, Rivers, Cross River, Akwa Ibom, um, Edo, where's the other one? That's is now Rivers, and then plus their own 5, making it 11 states. They want to patrol. That's what they mean by regional. Okay, so that's my understanding about that. Can you give me another topic? Hello. Hello.
Sorry, you caught me off guard. Then I was on a chocolate when we were just but there's this narrative from coming out of Dele Momodu as well that is saying he has found the formula to unseat Tinubu, which is first Atiku Abubakar, then either Peter Obi or Rotimi Amechi. So I think it's a narrative that we've circled several times, but what are you making of Dele Momodu? Is it the older version of is it another Obi Kubana but on a different camp? Is it just singing for his money?
One man, from me coming to your platform, there is something I noticed. I noticed that even when people don't like and subscribe, a lot of people are listening to your platform.
It's true. I
And
observed that
I
too.
want you to please do a little more research on the insecurity in Nigeria.
Thank you.
For every day, I support Chioma on that one. For every day you bring a topic here, please bring it in. Because here I am, it is being televised in their television that, in their news, local news here, that Nigerians are going to have serious food shortages because of insecurity. It shouldn't be news to me because for over 20 years, the international community has been singing it like a song that if Nigeria allow this insecurity to continue, there will be a time that we lack food. And if I'm not proud to say, Nigeria actually supply almost the whole of West Africa with food. I know most Nigerians don't know that. So you can imagine the kind of famine will be in the land. So every day you bring a topic, please add one of those insecurities going on in Nigeria. We need to talk about it. We need to blame who is to be blamed. Yes, I know it is politics. Sometimes people want to hide what is going wrong to make politics look nice. Politics.
Sorry, Zita. Like you said, you may have been dipping in and out, but I did actually do that. I was highlighting they've started the bombings in Borno State again, but which is not so much unusual. But they've now taken the bombings into Maiduguri, which is very unusual because we thought Borno had been ring fenced long since the Goodluck Jonathan days. But they've had 3 incidents of bombing in Borno State now, which now brings Boko Haram back into play in terms of the Nigerian dynamic.
Repeat your question again.
No, I was just highlighting that we actually brought that as part of the subject matters. There was a 3 bombing incidents in Borno State today or yesterday now, which we're saying we've not really had. We've had bombings in Borno State, but this one's happened in Maiduguri, which makes it unusual because that's the capital of Borno State, as you know, and we've not really had that many incidents of bombing in especially Maiduguri. So we were asking then if this is a repeat of the Goodluck Jonathan type of politics.
Okay. I wouldn't say it's a repeat of Goodluck Jonathan politics. It will actually be unfair for me to say that. In as much as I believe on what late ex-president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, said about Boko Haram. He said, if you are living with a Boko Haram, you are a Boko Haram. Why did he say that? Nobody actually wants to be buyed. Trust me, nobody. So, in next sense, technically, because he's a military man, what he's saying that if you live around those people, you stay with them, it's either you are their sympathizer, their supporter, or you are them. In any way, you cannot be complaining about what you tolerate. Period. So now back to the topic. You see, one man, I don't know whether you did Islamic religion in school, or you go about their documentaries and read about them and things they do. You see,
No, I know
yeah.
very little about Islam. In fact, I didn't even pay attention to it until about 3 years ago.
That's actually funny. Anyway, so you see, there is one thing about them that most people don't notice. They are a people that believe you dare not dare them. And that's why when they want to mash them, you mash them, wow, so that none will be left. You see, this thing is happening not because of politics, it's because you saw what when somebody came to your platform to romanticize about how they have upped their game. Okay? And he's not saying the game has been upped. He keep mentioning that the United States intelligence has come. And since they come, he keep making reference to their presence. So that's who they are. Until you give them what is called extreme woto. When I mean extreme woto, you're not gonna leave any. You must be madder than they are for you to be able to handle them. You don't seem to, we the people who are not part of them do not seem to understand their ideology. But if you have watched their documentary and read about it, you understand that their ideology deserve an extreme, when I mean extreme madness. You have to do unthinkable. Something that a normal human being will see you and say, you kill 2 months old pikin, you buy 3 months old pikin, you buy woman, we get belle, you wear at all. You have to be on that level for you to be able to handle them. You
That's
will,
why I
you will
like.
look, you will look terrible. But
So,
that's the
Madam
only answer
Zita,
to them. Huh?
that's why I like what the U.S. did, December,
Oh, I'm
and
loving Israel and United States.
even First Lady of Nigeria commended President Trump for that bomb he did. He
You
sent
see,
in the
yeah,
north.
you see, and
It was a wake up
remember,
call.
one thing about them again, they will never agree that you are dealing with them. If you go one-on-one with them, they come up with all manner of propagandas on how they are dealing with you. So the only way to deal with them is to, rah, 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 so that there is no need telling story. The physical eye can see what you have done. There is no propaganda anywhere, or they didn't hit me well. I was the one that hit them 3 times. You shouldn't give them room for that. So
So,
that's
but
exactly,
Madam Zita, if Tinubu, his administration does that, so what repercussion would he face in the next election
let me say
from the
something.
north?
Let me say something. I
Hmm.
think, I think, um, I will say something that people will not like, but I'm going to say it anyway. The madness of insecurity in Nigeria it didn't start with Tinubu. He might try his best. It became very close to us because of technology. That's why you have the news in your hands today. You turn your ear like this, you hear news. You turn like this, you hear news. You are walking in the street, you are having it real time. That's why it seems as if an impossible is happening. They've been like that. They have always been like that. even if you start tracing it after 1914, you start tracing it coming, you will see all manner of jihad they did in those areas. Ridiculous, funny, unspeakable kind of massacre that today they actually do not have anything to show for it. Honestly, sincerely speaking. Instead, it took them 50 years backwards. So that's who they are. But I will always ask one man, it's good we talk about it here on this platform. It's not all about politics. But good question you asked, he said, if Tinubu go down woto, how would he feel? There are several ways of going woto. There are several ways. If he still wants to do it now, he can still do it. He will do it so badly that he will reduce the number of votes that will come out from there. That's if he has the willpower to do it. He will do it so bad that the whole of Northeast.
But if he does it and he and he loses the election off the back of that, what
No.
purpose will it serve?
No.
It won't
That's why
serve
I
any
said
purpose now.
he will do it so bad that the number of votes that will come out there will not be much.
That's
Just
Gino's
like
side, though. That's
that,
Gino's
just
side.
like Southeast vote. Do you understand what I'm saying? Maybe you might not
Is what
understand.
you're saying is like Gino's side, Miss Madam Zita.
Even if you
That's
don't call it,
eradicating the
even
whole north.
you see, you
You know,
see.
Zita, do you know that you're an extremist? Did you know that? Well, you are though. On the low key, you are a bit of an extremist on the low key. It's the same language you were using for the Iranians. It's still the same language.
What man? You see, I laugh at this thing you said. Maybe I was talking from kind of military perspective. There are some security challenges. I've said this several times here. You don't have a choice rather than to. If you actually really do want to end it, you have to go that length. There is no other option than to go that length. If you monitor Hiroshima, if you follow the story of Hiroshima,
Yeah, citing Hiroshima as an example to Boko Haram.
what is wrong in Hiroshima render?
No, but you can't Hiroshima.
No, hold on. When I mean Hiroshima, I don't mean nuke now.
No. I know to go to that extreme is what you're saying, but you cannot go to that extreme because there's an overlay of innocent civilians. The abundance of the overlay are innocent civilians. A bit like we hear from the Middle East that they are human shielding atrocities. So you cannot be like the Israelis, just carpet bomb everybody.
See, one man, you see, if you look at the military, knowledge came from the military. Most of the things we use today come from the military. They think far ahead of time because of mostly the situations they find themselves in most circumstances. If the military tell you that at certain point, that is the last option, please believe them. I used to give people example of Odi in Nigeria. Most countries in the world hated Obasanjo because of that. In fact, he lost Peace Award because of that incident. But believe you me, one man, there is nothing you would have done. Those boys have charm on their body. You need to see them. They look horrible. They look frightening. If you see them as an adult, you go to bed in the night, trust me, you're going to have convulsion. Not ordinary nightmares, you will have convulsion. There is nothing Obasanjo did not do to stop those boys. Immediately he did that OD, everywhere went quiet. And if he didn't do that thing, I don't think South would have been livable. Do you know why I say go extreme? If you don't go extreme, you will breed another type. And that's what is happening in the northeast and northwest.
But you know, there's a phrase they say: horses for courses, horses for courses. So what does that mean? You cannot use a racing horse as a farm horse, and you cannot use a farm horse on the tracks to race. So horses for courses. You know, if you go extreme with this fundamentalist, then it can go one or two ways, because they feel that they're acting to a higher purpose, and life has no value if that life is lost to that higher purpose. A good example is the Ayatollah Khomeini. So they're saying he was martyred, and that almost is some sort of beatification in their sort of mindset.
Let me go back to.
Hold on. If you go with the extreme with these people who are fundamentalists, and they base their fundamentalism on an extreme religion like the one that they practice, it might well be a galvanizing thing rather than something that ends. It's horses for courses now. Or there are people that they just want to drink champagne. These ones want 1,000 virgins in the afterlife. So it's a different narrative.
Okay, one man. Let me ask you a question, and I want you to answer me honestly. Can any government, okay, let me stop and let me not say the whole word. Can any government eradicate criminality?
No,
Yes.
it's not possible. No, it's
It's
not
possible.
possible.
Yes, it's possible.
Where has that ever happened? It's not possible.
It's not possible. Now, what do? They keep treating it as a con. Why do they use extreme measures to jihadis? When you whop up at them, it gives you time to build up your weaponry, your intelligence, your manpower, and everything before they spring up again. Not that you whop up at them, then that's the end, You whop up at them, you take them 5, 6, 10 years backwards. Then you re-strategize.
Yeah, but what happens in 5, 6, 10 years time?
They'll be breeding again now. They'll be coming up again.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying to you, Zita, that's not the solution. Because you're talking about a perpetual cycle.
I'm not talking about a perpetual cycle.
That's what you're saying now. You set them back, you build up your strength, they real galvanize, they beat you at a later point in the future. You set
and you
them
hammer them again now.
So when does it end?
That's why I asked you a simple question.
That's why I said that's a perpetual cycle.
That's why I asked you a simple question. Can you eradicate criminality? The answer is no.
But you cannot use.
You cannot stop jihadism.
No.
Or whatever.
Hold on. You are using the wrong example to make the point, because criminality is different from fundamentalism and extremism, and then people that vest those things in religion that consumes their life and promises an afterlife. If you really want to go into, it's a non-kinetic sort of a thing. It's a matter of reorientation. The only thing that can stop that level of insurgency, both in Nigeria and globally, is to win the arguments that they vest it in. And that will still have to come within that religion. So if you go into the liberalized understanding of that religion and find a way to promote it above the extremist part of that religion, then that's the solution. But if you say you are continuing to bomb them, then you better be ready to continue to bomb in
Of
perpetuity.
course, you get ready to continue to bomb them, because removing the ideology from the religion is killing the religion. The religion will no longer be existing. And it cannot stop existing. That's just the truth. So you don't remove the ideology from the religion. You can only make them to be a little bit calm for some time, more especially the extreme ones. You disarm them, reduce their number in quantum. They have to, it will take them, because it usually do take them time to start all over again. Because when they start, they don't like starting little. They like starting fiercely. That is what their religion taught them. So 10, 15 of them cannot start it. No, they don't do that way. They want to show, they like showing numbers, they like showing power, they like showing intellect, they like showing knowledge, they want to show wisdom, they want to show maneuver. So they don't, if they're little, they don't back on anything.
All right, Zita. I want to try and bring Baba into the conversation. I think it's been patient enough, and we don't want to test his
I
tolerance
don't even
level.
know why Baba is keeping quiet.
I was wondering why he has been, but Baba has been a gentleman today. But Baba, are you there?
How are you, one man and panelists? How do you do? Don't let me waste much time. We are living in an interesting time, and a lot is happening in our country. A lot is happening, small things, big things. But a lot of us are not very observant, actually, because I think security is taking most of our attention away from other pluses the government actually is garnering. Where do I start? Actually, because this government, the Tinubu administration is not, or Tinubu presidency, let me put it that way, it's not being served properly with all this weak messaging that is coming from his spokesperson, spokespeople generally. But I'm glad that there is a delay in these letters of agreement for the ambassador designate. So people like FFK and Reno Mokri are still very much around. And I pray and wish those letters don't come until maybe January after the election, so that then they can go for the next 4 years to serve us. Because I love the salvo they release on Unleash on Dele Momodu today, Bob D. Immediately he came out with that nonsense weekend interview with Sheyi Okinbaloye. And anyway, he's a PR man, so he's doing his job. But then he's doing his job, he has to do it intelligently, not to play on the intelligence of intelligent Nigerians. And they gave it to him. I listened to read Omo Okiri's write-up. I read that of FFK too. And I reading them, I was nodding my head. I'm still nodding my head. I'm so pleased because I want them to be around to unleash on people like that, because what they are trying to sell us is all fool's gold. They are trying to sell us fool's gold because everybody in ADC have been in government since this Fourth Republic. Don't let's even go back beyond. They've been in government, all of them, mostly the Muslim Northerners. Name one that has not been in government. But for the first time in the last going 3 years, they lost governance, and they are so disagreeable that they want to unleash hell they want a thermonuclear rain to fall on Nigeria. That is not going to happen. Because most of them, even give them, most of them, particularly the foremost candidates, the Obi, the Atiku, the Kwankwan, so they are putting forward. I tell you confidently, none of them can be chairman of Ibejuleki local government or Lagos Island local government or Ikeja local government or even Surulere local government. None of them are qualified or will do better than people that are handling it now. So this is the people they want to serve us. Why I say weak messaging? Because, for instance, if Obi will talk or people will be supporters, they will tell us he saved $50 million, which he put in his own bank, where he has 12%, where he owns 12% of the bank. And the interest that accrued so far, even on the $50 million, nobody's asking what he did with it. And if you compare him with Ashiwaju, because when Ashiwaju was Lagos State Governor, he created Ibile Holdings, which is the arm of the government that invests. Just one, let me give you an example of what Ibile Holding did in 2001 when we started going GSM. Econet, by the Zimbabwe, actually brought Econet to Nigeria. Quickly. Ashwaju gave them 4 billion naira, rather, 4 billion naira, which was then about 30 million. In 2001, 4 billion was about $30 million. He gave them so that they can obtain their license and start operating. Do you know how much she got from that $4 billion? I mean, that $30 million? In 2024, when Lagos government divested from Econet, when they were going to sell it, that 10% share, that $30 million, which was 4 billion naira, gave Lagos state government 19 billion in 3 years. 19 billion, which was about $120 million. 5 times what, or 4 times what Lagos state invested. And tax was paid. That was not a brewery that is losing money, according to Professor Soludo. That was not a brewery. That was hardcore investment. I wish and several others, I'm just mentioning only one of Ibile Holdings investment and profit-making machine. So when they don't know anything, I mean, they should just kind of keep quiet. Keep quiet. Because do you know, even this, with all the northern bravado they are displaying, do you know the Sultan went yesterday to go and beg Ashiwaju for El Rufai release?
No, I saw those images, but I wondered why he was there. Is that what you think, that he was there?
Yeah, no, not I think. That was the principal thing. He went. A man who refused to go a week ago when others were there for iftar now went, rushed to the distance to now start begging for El Rufai. They want to, oh, please just give him bail. They know the wheel of justice grinds slowly in Nigeria. Everywhere it grinds slowly, but in Nigeria, it's more slowly than usual. So it's like when you suffer your 20 days, 30 days in detention and you are released, the case may take years. The case become years and you'll be going up and down and doing rubbish. But they forget that El Rufai mouth cannot be tamed. El Rufai mouth cannot be tamed. And they were giving their real answers. Why didn't the Sultan go there and make arrangement for how to stop the banditry that is going on, the terrorism that is going on? But he only went there to go and talk about a washed up loser like El Rufai. That's what he went there to do. He's not talking about insecurity. They are unleashing on innocent Nigeria. Anyways, there are people that are killing. As far as they can restrict it there, but they are bringing to Southwest. We have their weapons. We're preparing for them. If they don't want to just restrict to their region, let them bring it. Let them come on. Because these are the things actually that will make the country not work. And whether they like it or not, this Tinubu will be there till 2031. And I want them to make that mistake. Not to give Obi that ADC ticket. Let Atiku get it and contest. That will give people like me, God sparing my life. I will write and make my voice heard. That it's now an open book. Anybody can contest from anywhere. Abia governor can contest. Anambra governors can contest. Come 2031, because they must have finished their 2 terms. I'm waiting for just Atiku to contest, win that ticket and contest. That means we have turned into pieces that arrangement of north-south. So it's not necessary Tinubu returns power to the north. It goes nowhere. It's an open thing. I pray, let their greed push them and let Atiku contest. The thing is, they just don't learn their lesson. And this man, Tinubu, they are just underrating. He's at their peril. He's just too clever for them. And that is why the financial world is falling in love with him. Because in modern African politics, in Africa, he is the only one so reliable. He has not changed his policies. He has not flip-flopped, despite all the noises. Other presidents, quick, with the kind of noises we've had from Obedient and other people, he will have run into this thing and reverse all his policies. But staying the course has helped us so much that investors are coming. NGX is one of the richest bourses in Africa today, and even in the world. People are making money. People are making profits. And do you know who is going with him to England? The recently cross-carpeting governor of Zamfara is going with him to England. They must be airborne by now. And that's so beautiful, because I know what he's going to do there. Because there is a thing that's happening that nobody is talking about.
Can I
Yeah?
come here?
Just give me 30 seconds more to make this point. And I want you to concentrate and listen to. One of the richest northerner today, which we are not talking about, is Senator Yari, who rules Zamfara State. And how did he become rich? The gold in Zamfara State. The gold in Zamfara State, which we are not looking about. And that's why Dele Alake is also in tow in that England trip. He is going to solve a lot of things, because that gold, Yari stole over $50 billion worth of gold. During Buhari's time, when Aso Rock was even asking, he brought some gold to Aso Rock. And do you know what the cabal asked Buhari to do? That they have to open an account in Central Bank.
Was that Yari or Mia Malabune that brought the gold?
Yari was the governor. But when he brought it, they said they should put it in Central Bank in the accounts of Zamfara State, not Nigeria State. That's the instruction they gave to Emefiele. What happened to that gold till today? We don't know anything about it. That gold disappeared. Compare it. If other states, if Niger Delta is chopping their own money like that, or even Lagos State, where we do 40,000 barrels a day, in Lagos State at the the Dahomey Basin by Yinka Folawiyo and the JVC partners, which is far more than some regions anyway. Some regions who are doing 2.3. Lagos does 2.7, 40, that which is 2.7% of Nigeria's total daily production, which is 40,000 barrels every day. Imagine, I mean, we could easily load up and just go. These are the Dahomey Basin is at the extreme corner of Nigeria. Who will know? Who will know? Nobody will know. But these are money they've been using and chopping. Even the contracts they give out, on which they have to pay VAT, they don't. They deduct the VAT from the contract and keep the money. This is why restructuring is the way, and that is what Asiwaju is going to do in his second term. He can't start it now because it's just too late. The extension in the air. Let Niger Delta chop their oil. Whatever they do with their money, it doesn't concern anybody. Let them keep their oil and pay, contribute to the federal coffers. That's the way to go. Because you can't be eating your gold, chopping the money, hiding it, and then you keeping your VAT money and be still sharing from this from things that come from other regions, political zones. It's not going to happen anymore. That's why they are fighting this man. But it's not going to happen. There is no way it's going to happen. All they talk about now is corruption, 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 corruption. What corruption? The only way to mitigate against corruption, to reduce it, because you can't eradicate it, it's like the oldest profession in the world. You can't eradicate the oldest profession in the world. You can't eradicate. Man is corrupt by nature, by birth. Man is corrupt. So what, like you just said in your introduction about the airport dues, that you want it to be paid, which is the way to, that's what the president explained, that look, yes, corruption, anybody we caught will be prosecuted. But in the meantime, we will make it so difficult so that money will not exchange hands. Money will not exchange hands. In most of the Lagos car parks today, you see money. But in those days, when there was no cards to use, people collect the money. You will see a car park attendant earning 30,000 naira per month, bedecked with jewelry. What millions? What millions? So like when they say it's corrupt, it's corrupt, it's corrupt. Look, let's look at even the model of Alpha Beta and the model of other governors or politicians that have stolen. He did not deep hand. Let us interrogate this as if truly Asiwaju is the owner of Alpha Beta. What is Alpha Beta? He created a consultancy firm to collect the Lagos taxes. And of course, you can't be collecting money. You can't be collecting taxes for Lagos for free. So they have to pay you a certain percentage of what you collect for and on their behalf, who go to service your company, which is Alpha Beta. Is that not better than a politician that directly put their hand in state coffers, invest the money in a brewery, invest the money in their bank? And he helped Lagos State, because when he was in Lagos State in 2001, in 2000, for instance, Lagos State's IGR a year is 11 billion. 11 billion. Paltry money. But by the time he left in 2007, Lagos was 62 billion. 62 billion. And that model continues till today. Alpha Beta is still at work and has extended their services to some other states. As of today, Lagos IGR is 1.5 trillion. 1.5 trillion. Monies that will have gone into private pockets. that money will have gone into private pockets. But because there is a consultancy firm controlling, collecting the taxes, taking their own share, and they say that is corruption, that is corruption, that is corruption. I like that kind of corruption. I hate the one that will take the money and do nothing, the government money and do nothing, no service, nothing. But he didn't take any money from Lagos State. He provided service. Alpha Beta provided service, and they are earning from their service, rightly so. Today, 1.5 trillion a year, more than everything the whole country collects. Lagos State alone. So this gold thing is just now that Dele Alake is trying to arrange that recently Central Bank bought 3.5 billion worth. They have gone to do the assay, solidify it, and they now is in the federal central bank vault, 3.5 billion worth, and they are still going to buy more. So in taking Lawal to London is to have time to discuss with him, with Dele Alake, so that Nigeria can take charge fully of the gold mines in Zamfara, because they are awash with gold. Same thing if you go to Nasarawa, the lithium. Do you know there are two to three factories treating lithium, raw lithium, in Nasarawa State, for instance? In Nasarawa State, about 3 factories now, run by the Chinese. Run by the Chinese. And who knows about all of this? We get too excited about about the politics of now, and nobody's looking at all these things where our revenues supposed to come from. Now I realize why the president talks say we can be a $1 trillion economy by 2030. I'm starting to believe that these are the things he was looking at. He was looking at too, so that he can control. Look at the NNPC one. Now they are taking the money directly to CBN. That's another one he has blocked them from. By the time he brings whether Abakari and all the rest to trial, what trial? The chief accountant to the government that stole so much billion, is on bail. Is the case going anywhere? Mm-hmm. Zita, please ask your question. I'm sorry when I get worked up like this.
Sorry, Zita, before you come in with that question, you were talking about Alpha Beta, and there's a question that I've always wanted to interrogate. So I tried to interrogate it whilst you were speaking. How many states does Alpha Beta provide services for? Was the question I asked the search engine. And Alpha Beta provides, it says, if you're referring to Alpha Beta Consulting, the Nigeria Revenue Tax Consulting Company, they provide services in 8 Nigerian states: Abia, Imo, Bayelsa, Akwa Ibom, Sokoto, Kano, Plateau, Nasarawa. So that's the extent.
So when they say he has so much money, this is where the money is coming from. This is where his money is coming from. It's not like Lagos State, anything that's so extraordinary. If he chops Lagos State, would we have anything to invest or to do?
Can I ask the question?
Yes, sorry, Zita. I hope you understand why I just say give me 1 minute. Okay. Yes, go ahead, ma'am.
I listened to you carefully about the tonality.
I have a question.
Of your argument on this. You kind of moved it away from what I initially said. We should do us more good by discussing this insecurity outside of politics.
Yeah, sure.
You me, yes.
I agree with you, no doubt about that. You get my point, because I am privy to some private discussion that I can't even say it out. Even one man that is my buddy, I don't tell him things like that because they are too extreme. So go ahead, please, ma'am.
I'm not saying that somebody might not use insecurity for politics. It has happened severally. That's okay. But what is happening in Nigeria now to a normal person who has been following it for years, maybe reading from the time of 1914, you should understand that that area has always been like that. It's because it has not been well handled. That's why it is escalating. And again, I thought about somebody coming here to romanticize about because Oyibo people come, so they go show them Chege, go out there then. Apart from that, the second thing is that the people doing this thing, it is their nature to be violent. So whether Tinubu or any other person, it will continue. So when we, unless an unimaginable measure is being taken. That being said, before they call me extremist, that being said, Baba, anytime we want to discuss this insecurity, can we please keep the insecurity and discuss what is happening in our military, in people in Boronu, the headless mob, the ragtag? We talk about them. We should not be crossing it over and say the way the election is as today, Tinubu has done them wheezy. In fact, Jogolo they are dancing now. Honestly, sincerely speaking, it's going to be a shock if he's not winning that election. I'm surprised he went into that place and did what he did and killed every opposition around. So,
No,
but that is
Zita,
not the point.
yeah,
The
I
point
like the
is that
point. Yeah,
there is insecurity in Nigeria. I don't care
see,
how anybody look at it. I don't care what is the cause. If you know the cause, then stop it.
Zita, this is
That's
the
what I'm
point.
saying. All
This is the
this
point.
election,
Wait. I
we
understand.
campaign. If you come out, that's why they're doing that. Blah blah blah. I've had enough of that.
Look, what is
Let's
happening
discuss
is,
politics and let's
wait,
discuss insecurity.
we've
Thank you, Baba.
allowed these people enormous time. They've overtaken this country. They've overtaken, even before Buhari, before Obasanjo, it has always been about them in the north. That was what I was saying, and I think Dr. Simba was trying to disagree with me. And I asked him, call your people in your village, in your state, and ask them. Don't just ask me. You see, this thing has been there all along. In the police, they have more. In the army, they have more. In the navy, they have more. So they've overwhelmed our military and our police service to the extent that they till tomorrow they are still in control. It's by now that we have to start doing recruitment and putting things in there and letting every state supply people so that we can get our numbers again. They have more major generals. Just let me finish this, my beg, Prince Daddy. Just give me 30 seconds. They've overwhelmed us. You can even see them brazenly telling us that they want to rehabilitate terrorists. And according to sources, they did. Even though they denied that they did not recruit terrorists into the rehabilitated terrorists into the army, they did, Zita. You will not believe that stupidity. They did. And they are the ones actually giving information. The ones they did not recruit that are free are sleeper agents for these terrorists, giving them information. You can see why, when you asked me, I agreed with you that we have a Boko Haram army. Do you understand the enormity of the rubbish we are fighting? A terrorist, you say they are repentant, and you recruited them into the army. Those you cannot take in the army, you allow them to roam free, and they become sleeper agents, calling in the terrorists to come and do harm. Are you following the madness that is going on? So it's a very, very touchy. That is why I'm mad that their leaders are not saying anything. None of them.
But which version of Quran are the terrorists reading?
Jokuanum, ask me. Ask me. Are they reading the one they are reading in UAE, in Qatar, in Bahrain, in Kuwait, in Saudi Arabia, where they have all this glass and chrome all over the place, shiny, shiny, lovely place, good roads?
But Baba, I think Prince wanted to put a position
Yeah,
to you.
sorry, Prince. Come in, Prince.
Yeah, thanks, Robert. Thanks, Mohammed. I was just saying though, I guess your complaint or however you see the Northerners, what they're doing right now in terms of their dominance in different sector of the country or institutions, they were not the one that set the precedents. And I think in your numerous narratives, you've told us how a certain tribe also dominated different institutions and sectors in that country. So, and I think I've said it before, I don't blame the Northerners because if anyone had the opportunity to take advantage of as they are right now, supposedly, they would. Because the Southeasterners, they did it. People like you talked about how they dominated the army and the civil servants. And now the
And where did
tide
they
has
take?
turned.
Where did that end us in 1966?
Well,
When you chop
exactly.
belly full, you want to bust your stomach.
That
That's
was
Well,
a
what's
that
happening
coup,
now.
that
Prince
that that's
Daddy.
human
That was
nature.
a coup. No, that's the wrong example. That was a coup. That's not jihadist bombing people. That's these people are maniacs. It's a
No, I'm not talking.
different.
I'm not talking about. I know. I'm not. I'm just talking in general. Even before the coup, we have certain tribe that dominated certain institutions or industry. It is quite. It's well
But
documented. It has
just
nothing
make
to do with it.
sure what they're not bombing nobody. They're not doing jihadist acts. Okay,
I'm
and
trying to
they're
separate
not
that.
killing
Not
other
all Northerners,
tribes.
not all Northerners are terrorists or suicide bombers, whatever. I'm talking about normal people, normal Northerners, which 99.99% are just normal, not crazy. And it is not
It-
strange, by the way,
It's only
that
the Christians. It's only I believe, I will say it with all my chest, only the Christian nuts that are normal. The rest, no.
no,
Anybody can
I
accuse me
wouldn't say
anything,
that.
but I will say that because why? I am yet to see one person, one of them, whether the Sultan or the Emir, anybody coming out to condemn this terrorism. None of them.
I think that's a bit. I think
So, Baba, do you think it's because they're killing
sorry,
the
Choma.
poor
I was
northerners?
speaking
Because look
now.
at the people they're
What are you
killing.
doing
Those
now?
people
Are
look
you
like
all
they're
right?
covered in dirt.
Get
They
out
look
of
like
here. Get out. I was speaking now. Don't I've told you already, don't layer your voice over everybody. What's all this? What level of nonsense is this now? Baba, I was saying that I've even lost my thought. Carry on, Baba. She does it all the time. What do you think we are battling wheels here? Don't do
covered
It's
that
in
now.
dirt.
passion, woman. It's passion. Pardon her, at least. Please. Please, please. It's passion. Because we're talking about the life of our country or the soul of our country. Because if the Sultan, with all the problem we have with terrorism, they believe he's their spiritual head. I mean, if he stands and start talking about this, impressing it upon all the imams, the mullahs, the emirs in the north, that this has to stop. I mean, we will know that he's talking, but he's not talking. He even went to have the ears of the president yesterday. Where did he go there to do? To go and plead for El Rufai in
Oh,
all
no,
of the problem we have. To
has
go
there
and
ever
plead
been
for
any?
El Rufai.
If one man knows, or Baba, has there ever been a kind of a northern leader in a traditional leader in the north?
There's been several, we have to say.
There you go. So these people, they too, as much as we are in the south, are afraid of this terrorists or this bandits or whatever. They too, they are afraid. You don't think? What do you think, Baba? If they had a chance, they would speak up about. Well, look, what about what do you call it? Atiku himself? Did he not apologize or withdraw his statement on Twitter or X for condemning the kind of this the northern student? Did he not do that?
This is, you are getting my point now. Even the best of them are not seeing anything bad in what is happening. That is where my grouse is. That is why I'm mad every day in spirit and
I
in
think it's
body.
still bad. They can't just challenge this unruly terrorists. They can't do that because their lives
Give
also are at stake.
information, give correct information to the security services. Don't sabotage. Don't sabotage. This is where the problem is. They are
All
not
right,
cooperating.
ladies and gentlemen, Simba is here, so I'm going to bail out. It's quite early where I am. So Simba, you round it off. Thank everyone. See you tomorrow.
One minute.
Yeah.
Before you bill it, actually, a few days ago, I think Rufai got one on you. What do you call it? Rufai on Arise Television. When he used
Arise
the
TV.
word, when he used the Arise what? Yeah, TV. When he used the word Bofas, he actually pronounced it correctly. I think you may have gotten it wrong.
Did I? Is it?
No,
I'll check
volt fast. That was the
correct,
word.
yes.
Oh, did I say
far.
it was Vault Face? I was correcting
Correct.
him. Say, all right. Let me. I have to check that because I've always called it Vault Face, and
No,
I'm really
it
ever
is
wrong.
volt fast.
But he still pronounced
Anyway.
it wrong anyway.
Yes, 1 minute later.
I'm checking it now. Now you.
It's volt fast.
Let's see. Oh yes, you are right. It's Volt Fast. I just checked it now. All right. Apologies to Rufai. So he got that one on me. All right. How dare you speak of all people? Imagine being caught off guard by Rufai. All right. Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow.
All right. Thank you.
You couldn't wait to flog me with that one, Prince, could you really? Look
It's
at this.
Rufai now. I know Rufai.
We don't know. We
like
don't know
Rufai.
everything now. Nobody is 100% when it comes to English
No, because
language.
I was actually mocking him, but I think Prince actually. All right, Prince. Well done, touche. All right. Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow. We might come out in the afternoon actually, because I feel that the Dele Momodu media outing is what a reaction. So we may well have a reaction to that tomorrow afternoon. So
come along with FFK and Reynolds' response too.
Yes. So it will be well packaged. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. So we've got Prince, we've got
But one more before we leave, you know, they are coming out because of what the obedience are doing. You know, it was what was the name of this Kogi guy that came out first and was speaking in defense of Atiku, Dino, before Dele Momodu joined his own. So you see more of them coming out like that. So they're just giving you an incline to what is going to happen in their primary.
Oh, you mean they are already, because anytime Dele Momodu comes, he always speaks in the space subordinating. Yes, I think I see where you are going. They are already telling them that, look, you are only there to vie for the vice presidential slot. So yes, but you know, Dele Momodu, it surprises me somewhat the sort of politics that he was playing. You know, Tinubu was one of the people that Tinubu and Abiola, they're responsible for that guy to wait now. They fed him fat, but look at the way he's.
That's a Yoruba man for you.
No, it's an Edo man now. Is it not an Edo man?
Yeah, no, you can't say Dele. You can't say
Dele now. In Ife, all his life.
Dele Momodu is a Yoruba guy. He just like Saint Patrick is an Edo guy.
Bàbá mi parí òwe yìí, Simba, ilé tó ń tòrò.
Ọmọ àlebẹ̀ ò tí dàgbà ni.
There you go now. So that's Dele Momodu right there.
No, but what man, you will have asked Prince Daddy to finish it for you now.
Prince Daddy, Umbo Yoruba ni.
There you go, Dr. Simba. There you go again.
All right. At least if my English is not up to par, my Yoruba is catching up. But thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow. Cheers.
Okay, one minute. Yes,
Okay.
carry on.
And then who's talking now? No, I
I
just
think,
came in to stand in for woman.
okay, I think Zita can take over from me.
But Baba, you've not spoken on the headline still. The indeed
You have
was
done justice to that now. Zita has
all right.
done justice to that. So I don't want to put mouth in that. You've gotten the why they are saying that. Is on they always look for a way, and it's not going to work. You said it, and Zita said it too. You got it spot on. Yeah. So absence Zita, Prince Daddy, you can take the floor.
Prince that you are saying something earlier on before Chuma cuts in. Can you continue what you are saying?
Yeah. I think what I was saying, you two, you've made a comment about it. I was talking about
No,
this.
she did. She's not. Maybe probably because maybe she's not a student of history. She didn't know what you are talking about. Probably she thought that you are talking about the coup. You understand? But she didn't know what has happened even before the coup.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about the coup. I was just talking in general that before the Northern domination came about,
Yeah, because
Southeastern and two were
before
dominating.
then, the officers' corps alone, officers' corps, more than 60% are all Southeasterners of the officers' corps.
No,
And we know
not only in military, Baba, every
everywhere
facet,
now, police
everywhere.
station or everywhere you go.
Railway, civil service, they dominated everywhere. The only difference is how each region now use their advantage. It's totally different. The way the Northerners are using their own is what is actually causing this insecurity. Though the way the Easterners also use their own that time also lead to a problem. So, but the manner and approach are different. That's the only thing that we can say.
Well, the northern style, or if you want to call it that, is just what is needed in our time. Who's to say that if another tribe is in charge, they wouldn't do equally as bad or even worse? So again, me, I don't blame them because it's human nature to want to dominate. If nobody wants to give power away, we don't do that naturally as human beings. We don't do that.
But
So
why should you be doing something that also affecting your people? This
well,
insecurity that
it
we are
shows
it
clearly.
is
It shows that selfishness. It just shows that they are just like the rest of us. They talk, but they use their own people. They subjugate their own people. At the same time, they abuse them, and yeah, it just shows they are just common criminals like the rest of us. They abuse their people like we all do. Yeah, but there are people we can say maybe they are more gullible because of the religion in which they've indoctrinated them. But can we not say the same thing about the South also? The southern part of the country, religion also is a big part of it. So we tend to see the plank in or the speck in other people's eyes, but the plank in our own sometimes we don't see it. So again,
but
of course, I don't support what they're doing.
I think the major mistake that we are making, anything that happens in the north, why do we normally link it to religion? But when it happens in the south that are dominated by Christian, we don't say the
So
Christian thing. So why do
Simba is about
Mm,
the actors. Look at the people perpetrating the acts.
mm.
When you
What,
look
what,
at
what,
them, they
how
are
do they look?
all they are Muslims.
It's become
Are we
majority
going to
when you
deny
have
that?
let me
Are we
ask
going
you,
to
if you
deny
have a
that?
society, if you have a society, let's say that are maybe probably 95%, 96% Muslim, what do you expect?
No, I'm just telling you that is why people attributed it to people
Hey,
of
let
that
me let me give
religion.
you for example. If the Hausa, let's say the Niger Delta is let's say it comprises of Samfara, Kebbi, Sokoto, Kano, and all those things. And all those things that they have been doing, Niger, Benja, and all those things that have been doing that. Don't you think that people will have given it the religion coloration? So in Niger Delta now, what is the predominant religion in the Niger Delta? Are they not Christians? So why are they not saying that, okay, it's Christian, 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 Christian?
But then they were fighting for share of their oil now.
What anybody will have a reason for fighting for whatever they are fighting for. They have a reason for doing whatever they are doing. The reason might be different and it might look more reasonable than one that the one might be more reasonable than the other. But it's still the same. So giving it a religious coloration because predominantly the people that are perpetrating it are Muslim does it will make us to actually okay. Now you said because each time you say okay maybe they want to Islamize. If they want to Islamize, their people are all are Muslims. So why are they kidnapping them? Why are they killing them? Most of the people that are being kidnapped and all those things, majority of them are Muslim. Even the one that happened in Kwara State, they are Muslim. So, but because what I don't want is that thing is making us to lose focus on what is actually happening. Because okay, let me ask you now: is there any country in the world that will say, okay, is a Christian country, and if they are doing anything wrong, they say, okay, it's Christian that are doing it. But we have anything that happens in any Muslim nation, we give it as a religion. You give it a religion coloration. Why is it always like that? In Uganda, we have a rebel in Uganda. Why is it not giving a Christian coloration?
Well, because Simba, let's not kid ourselves. Because they, you know, they tend to put their religion forward, if I can say that, and they do things. Yeah, let's just put it, they do things in the name of their religion. They say themselves. They put their religion. They mix or they intertwine their actions with their religion. They do that all the time. And you're right because I mean, apart from terrorism or whatever, anyone that's a Christian in any Christian nation, they do equally as bad. In a lot of ways. There's so much filth in the Christian nations. I mean, you want to talk about pornography and all those things that's in the West. I mean, plenty of them. So they maybe talk against such things, but each country, big Christian or Muslim, they have their own vices, right? But we know for sure the reason why if you have a Muslim-dominated country or a group or a people, we tend to put when they do something bad, it just instinctively we say it is because of their religion that's pushing them, and that's just the reality. And it's quite clear that if you do the math, even in Nigeria, what percentage of Nigerians engage in this terrorism that we're talking about? What percentage is it? Able to build an app with your name on it. Very low. Base 44. Very low. Base 44.
Why is everywhere quiet?
Waiting for you, Zita. We called you earlier.
No, you people can continue. I'm listening.
You are eating.
Well, if you guys can see me, my voice was kind of reverberating. I wasn't sure what was going on.
By the way, they don't fight finish.
Who fight finish?
Then where they fight now, they don't fight finish.
Plenty of people they fight. Who they fight, who don't finish. I don't know what you're talking about. Are you talking about Iran and America and Israel, or which one are you talking about?
Yes, now that's the people I'm talking about. Who else is fighting?
Who said to the fight? Are you there? Who said to the fight?
Another one now, Cuba. The next one now, Cuba that go fight.
Well, I never heard that story. They said to the fight. I don't. As far as I know, they're still bombing each other since like yesterday or a few hours ago. So, yeah.
You are hearing Cuba a few hours ago.
Not Cuba. I'm talking about Iran, not Cuba.
Now what happened?
They're still fighting now. They're still bombing Israel, Tel Aviv. I mean, using more hypersonic, sophisticated weapons to do the fighting. So that's what's
Let
going
them
on.
fight to finish. And when this is
So
40
okay,
years.
hold on. What do you say now? See, Trump call France, call Italy, call Canada, and even England, and nobody wants to come in. I think Germany. Everybody said no. We're not going to the Strait of Hormuz to try to fight or try to take over or defend the strait. They're not doing that. Why do you think they're turning Trump down?
You see, before I tell you I'm interested in something, I don't just jump being interested in it. You see, this thing Trump is doing, that is actually why I like him. He has become the only president of the United States that you cannot predict. United States presidents, when they become president, the first thing the world do is to run profile on them. People like Russia, if you have been to Moscow, they have I forgotten what it's like, a branch like their ABI, but a branch of it. Their job is to tell the president what another president is made of. But they couldn't dictate Trump in 2016. They did all that. That's why when people say Trump is Putin's nigger, I go laugh. They couldn't. They told Putin that the guy has manic depression. There's not somebody you can predict. And that's actually how an American president should be. And I like the fact that he's not doing it in silence. He keep talking. Every time he will say one thing like this, next time he will say one thing, the next time he will say one thing. Before you know it, he does one. That is the only way to secure America. Do you know why I said that? America has been in, I don't know if there is a worse war that is being infiltrated. If there is a worse war than that, that's what America is suffering from now. From within, you cannot even go to Congress, a group meeting, committee in Congress, and lay down a plan to them. Before you finish laying down that plan, you are leaving that the people you are planning for will hear it. That is how bad America has become. So this wheezy he's doing, let it continue doing the wheezy. But it's common sense. Nothing stop them from stop bumping.
Madam, the Wizzy is doing is not being done in the vacuum. The gas prices are going up. The price of commodities are going up. I mean,
I
people
don't
are.
even know. I don't even know why people say this. You people must really be young, very young. I'm not that old, but I read a lot and I monitor things a lot. It's always been like that. Whenever America goes to war or conflict, things jump up.
Well, see, then that is the point. Okay, I guess that's the point. Because
They
so far, the
wait.
reason
If you
no, no,
monitor,
no, well,
okay,
nobody's
continue.
obviously we know that if there's war insecurity, I mean, it depends. Things prices of commodities will go up, but the problem is that this war is it's I guess what you call an unforced war. And there's a name that they call it. This to many Americans and supporters, this is not called for. It's totally not called for. And Trump miscalculated. He's calculating miscalculated right now because he wanted to do the Venezuela version of what he in Iran, and he said it himself, but it didn't work. It bombed them the first time around, destroyed their nuclear facilities, and guess what? The Iranians called him, or called the right people in the White House. Said, okay, we're about to bomb your facility, your assets, or you call it your base in I don't know in Qatar. So get all your people out of there and clean shop so we can bomb it. So, and Trump said it himself. So he's become extremely arrogant and confident that, well, the same thing's going to happen again. And on this show, on this one man show, I said it myself. When that happened, I just cracked up and I said, "This Iranian people, they talk too much. They're just a bunch of weak people." I said it. I said, and I think I said Netanyahu should have gone ahead
If
and
you
hide it.
if you would
Hold on,
like, we
hold on.
have a nice conversation on it when you are done.
I said, back when it first did, I said that Netanyahu should have gone in and hide their leader back then because they couldn't respond. They were so weak and they talked too much. But what happened the second time around caught Trump by surprise and the rest of his people, except the generals that told him that, hey, don't go because Iran is not Iraq, and that this time around may not be what you thought it was going to be. So boom, and it happened. They hired all their leaders and all those things, and guess what? When Iran shut their bases, they didn't want anybody. They even went ahead, apart from the bases, they attacked the hotels where they knew the Mossad and the military people were staying, and now they all out for war. They all out for war, and they were underestimated greatly. I myself was kind of surprised. I know they have a lot of weapons and drones, but I
You are
didn't think they
telling
had
a
the
story
confidence.
everybody knows. What is your point?
No, no, you can say everybody knows. Everybody don't, no, obviously, if you know, but Trump did not know. So how about that? So obviously, you say you know because what we're seeing right now, nobody knew. Trust me, nobody damn knew. If they knew, he would not have done what he did when they told him don't do it. He didn't think that Iran had the balls to stop the shipment of the movement of ship in the Strait of Hormuz. He didn't think that. So he himself was caught by surprise. So don't say everybody knows. Nobody knew. Even Israel right now is caught by surprise. The way they've been bombarded left and right, they didn't know what was coming to them. So don't say that nobody knows. I myself didn't know. And a lot of people didn't know that Iran had the guts to do what it's doing right now. And that's why Trump is panicking. He's panicking, calling the rest of the countries to come and, go guard the Strait of Hormuz, so the ships can pass.
I said you are telling a story everybody know. What's your point? What is the point you're trying to make? That's what I'm asking.
I don't know if I'm making a point. I'm just telling you what,
Rich
what
Daddy,
I'm
why
observing.
the EU? I heard that the EU are telling him that they're not helping. There is not.
Can I
something
speak
That's
on
what I'm
that
telling Madam
topic?
Zita, and I say everybody knows. I say nobody knows. Everybody's caught by
Okay.
surprise. Yeah, they still they're
Rich
not doing. They
Daddy,
don't want to put their even the Spanish president came out and say, "Hey, he's not doing.
you
Don't
are
count
telling
me
a
in."
story everybody know. It's in the news. But can we have a conversation on it? I don't know the
Right.
point you want to make. But if you will listen, this is a global platform. Let's learn. Conflict and war is business in America. Any president of America that comes that doesn't do it might be bad. Trust me. It is trillions of dollars of business that keep America moving. Outside of the power of it, the financial and monetary aspect of it is also extremely important in the United States. All this palliative, all these stipends, all the welfare, all blah, 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 is because of trillions of dollars of business. Now, that being said, let me say this. It is actually for us, it's either we are ignorant or we are pretending. If we say America went to war for no reason, it is an unjust war. It is not their war. They shouldn't have. First of all these things you say is why they go to war. When it is not them, yes. By the way, there is no war that is justifiable, period. And there is no war that should happen in the first place. Stupid war, unjustifiable war, there is nothing like that. But somebody can build up a reason to go to war, not even good, but a reason to go to war. And that's what America has been doing over the years. Obama generated a lot of money for the military. A lot, in fact, that's actually why he won second term. He generated a lot of money because Obama was sharing American weapons like candy. Obama used over 100,000 bombs, ranging from drones to missiles to name it. In fact, if my memory can remember, Obama was the first American president to test a drone on humans. That's what they do. And let me not be a little bit civil about it. I tell my friends who parade themselves as Americans, born, indigenous, acquired, I tell them it's unfortunate that you don't know what makes your country. All you need to do, if you don't like it, denounce their citizenship and get the hell out of that place. That's who they are. I hope everybody is hearing me. Hello?
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you.
Okay. That is who they are. That's what makes them. That's what makes them tick. That's why they are extremely wealthy, even with the number of citizens they have. For a country with that amount of citizens to be keeping that dollar and keep it rolling, I can automatically tell you that 60% of it come from military. They don't joke with it. And they won't let any president of America joke with it. Now, coming to politics.
So we try to understand now
Let
what
me
would
finish.
generate money for the military. We are confused.
It's their military now, their military equipments now. They sell it.
To who?
To other nations.
So what does
They
that have to do
test
with
it.
them fighting war?
Yeah, they test it in war. That's why Israel has copied them now. They test
Okay,
it
so
in
you're
war.
saying whenever they go to war and use that weapon, that's when other countries want to
They
buy.
have already started, in Iran now, they have already started testing their latest. They started it today. They started it today. They've started testing their latest today. Oh, no, yesterday.
Okay, so you're saying the reason they go to war is because they want to sell weapons to the world.
They want to sell weapons. They want to make weapons outside of the financial aspect of it. Mind you, the companies that make that weapon sell it to the United States government. And then they test it. And then others show interest. That's how they make their money.
So America make money from selling weapons.
Oh, are you kidding me? You don't know that?
Well, that's why you're saying that's where they make most of their money.
Yes, of course.
Are
you kidding me? You don't know? Okay. If you don't know.
So that the reason they go to war all the time is because they want to sell weapons.
Because they have to test those weapons to show the capability and capacity. Now, hold on.
And who are they selling
You
them?
see, if you listen to Donald Trump, when he's making his so-called deals, what is the deal? Apart from the normal deal everybody makes, other countries make, you will hear him talking about this country is going to buy $90 billion worth of fighter jet, commercial plane, and all those things.
Who's buying $90 billion worth of American?
But you've been listening now to Donald Trump. I'm talking about when they are making their deal. You will hear they will say, Colombia, for you to do this deal, I give you 10% tariff, blah blah blah. You will promise to buy 550 billion worth of equipment, military equipment. It's one of the deal, very important to them. Now, that being said, you can go and do your verification anywhere. That being said, whether it is a Democrat, whether it is a Republican, whether it's MAGA, there are two things in America that is not negotiable by any president. Not negotiable. Immigration and ammunition. I repeat myself again. Immigration and ammunition is a given. You must wire. You must attack. It is not negotiable. You must use those weapons, period. If you want to use this in essence, that's your business. You want to use it small, and play the good guy, that's your business. But you must use them. Now, the political aspect of it is that if it is a Democrat, Republicans will say, unnecessary war. People will believe them and vote for them. When it is Republican, Democrats will say, it is not our war. It is an unnecessary war. Which one is their war now? Mike, let me ask you, who they find America trouble? Hello?
Who they find their trouble?
I they ask now, when you say it is not their war, it is unnecessary. Which country?
Who look for their troubles, whoever go against their interests?
That is what I'm saying. Nobody they look for their trouble now. Who they find their trouble? Nobody. Now then they go about, they look for trouble now. So what is this unnecessary war? This particular
don't think
war,
it's because
it is
they want to
unnecessary.
maintain their...
This particular war is unjustified. Which war where America don't go for? Do you know the Japanese war, the Hiroshima? Do you know how it started? Please go and read about it.
Is it because of...
No. Let's not just... We can discuss it another day. Go and find out what make Japan hammer them. That made America to condemn particular cities till Jesus come. Go and read about it. So this idea of unnecessary war, which war they necessary? Now, Mike, please tell me, is there any argument you'll be having that will take the life of 1 million people? Come on now. 500,000, which war they necessary?
If they didn't drop that bomb in Hiroshima, the Japanese will surrender. In fact, after they dropped that one in Hiroshima, they were still fighting until they dropped the second one.
Maybe I talk I'm here. One man say I'm an extremist.
It was until they dropped the second one in Nagasaki before even the Japanese, they didn't even want to surrender after the second one. But
say they don't learn the hard way. Now I say make they do it for North. They query me. I say make they do it for Iran. They say they query me. No wahala. That is by the way.
If you do it in Iran, when they did it in Japan, they were the only one with the bomb. But this time, they are not the only one with the bomb. So you can't say you want to go and do it.
Who owns the space?
Who
owns the space?
Who what?
Who owns the space? Space. The satellite, the space. After this earth, above this earth, who get her?
Space gets space now.
Okay, no problem now. So we don't have a discussion.
America is not the only one in space.
Let's stay
China
on
is
the
in
one.
space. Russia is in space. Even India is in space.
Okay, no wahala now. No
I don't know
problem.
what you're trying to say with that.
Nothing. I know they talk anything about that. I don't
What does that have to
finish.
do with America is not the only one with nuclear bombs?
We don't do now. Haba. We shouldn't be saying everything. I beg. Now, let's go back to what we are talking about concerning people getting agitated for what America is doing. You should have asked yourself, why did they pick Venezuelan president? Is it justified? That
Because
should
he
have
didn't have
been the
nuclear
question.
bomb. That's why.
The one they have crippled Russia, that Russia is dealing with propaganda now. Don't Russia have nuclear bomb?
But you can't pick Putin now.
Listen to me. Listen carefully. All America need to act at a particular point in time is a president who has interest in that thing. Period.
Who has interest in what?
In what he wants to do. The day America will get a president who has interest in disarming Russia, you will see it happen. You are surprised? You are laughing at it. Let me go back to Iran. You see, when a prince was talking about Strait of Hormuz, I was laughing. He said Donald Trump did not think about that. I was laughing. I couldn't believe that we think that small of the United States and their intel, but that's good. When Iran is misbehaving and they say they want to go to war, Americans and their leaders will say that will be disaster, that will be catastrophic. Have you ever asked somebody why are they always saying that attacking Iran will be catastrophic? It things like Strait of Hormuz. It's things like probably they might attack their neighbors and start breaking those glasses. So that's why anytime you mention it to an American president, it will tell you it's going to be a disaster because of what he's seeing on his table. And let me repeat myself again. They can do anything. It depends on the president sitting there. You want the madness, you and him go do the madness. But the only thing I like Trump for is that he's not, let me use the good word, he's not straightforward. And I like him for that. Because for so many years, American presidents are very predictable. Very, very predictable. Before they think of the next step, the next country will understand what they are and get ready. But this is whiskey, Jogolo, he's doing. Now they sweet me pass. It keeps you thinking, everybody, which day will the war end? If it's normally American president will tell you we are going in. Hey, they said it's 2 days. It has lasted for 10 years. He's not telling. I hope I made myself clear. Mike, can we go back to Nigeria?
What's going on in Nigeria?
They are bombing Borno. Food
Who's bombing
scarcity in Nigeria.
Who's bombing Borno? America.
Boko Haram.
Boko Haram is back.
They said that place is hell let loose. Oh.
So the Americans that we invited, that you guys are celebrating, what are they doing?
That is what somebody came here to do now. The person is romanticizing that the people have overpowered our American intelligence.
Who?
He's so excited that they are bombing everywhere. So what is the American intelligence? Look, these boys are so good.
You didn't answer my question. And so the Americans that we invited to come and help us, what are they doing?
Maybe you have not been listening since morning I've been talking. That is the way they behave. That is the way they behave.
Who?
The jihadists.
Are they outsmarting the Americans? I thought the Americans
They don't outsmart anybody. They are just stubborn. That's the
What are
way
the
they behave.
Americans doing? The Americans are came
Hold
to help
on
us. What
now,
are they
calm
doing?
down. They are stubborn. When they are doing that, their madness, you try to challenge them, they go extreme. And that's exactly what they're doing now. Americans have not started doing anything. They've not started anything yet. I think Tinubu is waiting for, they just brought them in to calm Trump down. He's waiting for after the election. They've not started doing anything. Honestly, sincerely speaking, it is their presence that is causing this madness. That during that presence, that's the way they behave. That's why I say, if you want to deal with them, deal with them. Rah, 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 rah. If you won't, no go remain.
So the one we don't do since, why we not find results?
Una no they do anything. Una no they do anything now. Boronu is not desert. No, Boronu people still in their houses. It's not desert yet. You have to turn it to a desert.
Give me Boko Haram house to a desert.
No, not eastern, more especially than north east, you turn it to a desert.
There's difference between Northeast and Boko Haram. Well, I don't understand. I'm confused.
Turning something to a desert. Wipe everything now.
Both Hassan and his people, all of them, all the human being there.
Bam.
So what's in concern the people with Boko Haram? The people who want to kill Boko Haram. What is, I mean?
According to their brother, retired late Major General Muhammadu Buhari, former ex-president of Nigeria, said, if you are living with a Boko Haram, you are a Boko Haram. And an ordinary person who is not in the military will not understand it. But that's the truth.
But Boko Haram are not living with the people now. They come to attack the people and go away.
They're living with them.
But so they come to attack
They're
people.
living with them. Don't forget.
Buhari, by the way,
They fall from heaven.
Buhari is not from Northeast, you know.
They fall from heaven.
Well, one thing, so everybody in the Northeast are Boko Haram. Is that what you're saying? I don't know, Sha. If everyone is Boko Haram, then I will support your point. But I don't know if we just know.
Believe you me, people who are not interested in Boko Haram, doesn't have sympathy for Boko Haram, doesn't support Boko Haram, all of them don't run away. Tay.
But from what I learned in Nigeria, I don't know. I think Boko Haram is more of a guerrilla warfare, attack and run kind of thing, you know, like bandits and all those kind of things.
Make I go start my day. Bye-bye.